Nobody is in here. I don't even feel like I should wait for anybody to get in here. I should just kind of get to it and people will see it when they see it. But baby, we about to get to the mess. I got me some water because I'm gonna be doing a lot of talking. And I feel like it's gonna get real spicy. Throat gonna get dry. All right. So let me go ahead. I got my binder. The title of my binder, I know you're not gonna be able to really see it. Pulling out binders like they did on Real Housewives, child. It's called Let's Be Honest, because this is a situation between a bisexual woman and a lesbian. But the lesbian is the one who is not being honest here. She's not being honest with herself. She's not being honest with her child. She's probably not being honest with her family, but that's her shit. So, first and foremost, before I really get started into this, I want to say, what is my point in all of this? Because a lot of times when people come exposing stuff to the internet, people are like, what's the point? You should have said it to the person. You could have did this. You could have did that. Understandable. But when you are dealing with the type of person that I'm dealing with, maybe sometimes you just need to vent. Like, I have to approach this person with all tact. I can't approach this person how I would come to y'all and talk about it and be kind of like messy and joking around and saying what I want to say. I can't do that with her. Not because I'm afraid of what she's going to do court-wise or anything like that, but I just realized over these last series of emails, I've been giving this person too much credit. I don't know what's not clicking in their mind for them to not understand their wrongdoing in this situation. I don't understand what's not clicking in their mind for them. They have to constantly read over shit in the emails and act like they're responding to something, like they really about to just get me and they not, because they contradicting themselves. It's just dumb. But I need to vent. I vented to my mom, I vented to my friends, and y'all know we cool. So I'm gonna vent to y'all. So my point in doing all of this is, number one, is to bring awareness to people pleasers that we don't win in the end. No matter how nice, respectful, or compromising you are, evil people are just meant to be evil. You can't change them and you can't make them see. Some people are just going to do whatever the hell they want to do. If they want to use you, they're going to use you. And for me, like I've said in plenty of videos, I'm a recovering people pleaser. I realize the error in my ways. I realize how I was raised and how I chose to show up in the world. I'm not putting any blame on my parents or nothing like that, because your parents can only do so much with what they know. So it's no blame on them. It's just I had to learn my way. And through learning my way with being a people pleaser, baby, I got burnt. And we're here to talk about it. So the other reason why I'm doing this is because I want to bring awareness to the LGBTQIA plus community of how laws work for them. I did not know how any of this shit worked. I just thought once everything in the world was like, pretty much, what was it? It was 2015 when they made everything legal for LGBTQIA plus. I just figured like, oh, we just got freedom to do shit. That's what I thought. I didn't know nothing else. But this will bring awareness to you about laws as it pertains to if you are trying to bring a child in the world together with somebody, how the laws work in your particular state. You have to look it up. Like, I know for us in the beginning of this, we did everything in Georgia. Georgia's rules were totally different from North Carolina's rules. North Carolina's rules was totally different from Louisiana rules. So you just have to kind of figure out what the rules is for where you are. And finally, the last reason why I'm doing this is because this is the opportunity for me to finally speak up for myself. Ever since I was really young, I have been pretty much told to like not really use my voice. And I have shunned my voice for a long time, which got me caught up with the people pleasing, not saying what I really want, not expressing how I really feel about shit, just giving the other person what they want. And it has fucked me in the end. And now I'm at this place where I don't want to wait until I become this old person. You know how when people get older and they be like, oh, don't worry about James. He old. He going to be like that. I don't want to wait till I'm old like James to start not giving a fuck. I want to not give a fuck right now. I want to speak up for myself right now. And again, I can't say these things that I'm getting ready to say to y'all, to the person, because the person's comprehension is just not fucking there. And I'm trying to figure out I've been trying to figure this shit out for years, where if I'm wrong anywhere, if there's any wrong that I'm not bringing up, because I know my faults. If there's any wrong that I'm not bringing up, can somebody tell me? Like, help. But anyway, into this, I don't want to make this too long. We are about to enjoy what I would like to call red flag city. Basically, because there were plenty of times where I had opportunities to get out of this situation before it got to the point that it got to, but I didn't do anything. Again, people pleaser mentality, abandonment issues, all types of shit that I have worked out on myself now, but this was my mentality back then. So you can say whatever you want to say in regards to this story. Baby, there's nothing that you can say about me or to me that I haven't said to myself and probably have said worse. So it is what it is. I know that my mentality is not the same as it used to be. I've grown, but apparently this motherfucker didn't. So anyway, so before we get into all these receipts, yes, the binder, the fucking binder of text messages, emails, and shit. Before we get into that, there are some key points that I need to bring up about our relationship and things that happened in our relationship to get us to this point. So, number one, when we first got together, this person was, before they had got, what was that? I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's not a legal marriage, but it's domestic partnership. This person had a domestic partnership with somebody else. Now, once everything became legal, and this is how it was explained to me, once everything became legal in the world, I think that was 2015, apparently they sent out letters to people that had domestic partnerships before. If you wanted to convert your domestic partnership over to a legal marriage, you didn't have to do nothing. After so much time, they was just going to send you a marriage license in the mail. If you did not want to, if you weren't with that person anymore, or you did not want to be with that person anymore, or you just didn't want to have anything legally binding, you needed to contact the people in association with that paperwork in order for you to get, I guess, like a legal divorce or just documents to say that you're not together anymore. If you didn't respond to that letter, if you got it and you said, fuck it, I don't care, and I'm not responding, basically you were legally married. And if you're no longer with that person, then you have to find that person, get in contact with that person, and try to go through the process of getting legally divorced. This is how it was, and this is how it was explained to me when it happened. I said, what? When did you transition? John said, I'm a beautiful, thank you, John. There are some beautiful transsexuals. Thank you so much. I'm telling you, when y'all try to be negative, I just transmute that because there's something wrong with you. It ain't nothing wrong with me, baby. It's all right. Okay, so number two, let me bring these sleeves up because baby, it's getting hot. I'm already getting hot. Number two. Oh wait, no, I didn't even get into number one. Let's go back. Number one. When we got together, the person was in a domestic partnership. They realized that they had to do all these different things in order to get out of that situation. So they were trying to get out of that situation. They were telling me about different things that happened in that relationship, and they were telling me how they really wanted to have a baby. They were like, that's been something that's just been on me for a while after one of this person's parents passed away. They was like, I just really want to have that type of love. I feel like I'll never get that type of love that I got from my mom outside of me having a child. So I was like, okay, understandable, get it. Plus I already had a child. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. In the midst of us being together, in the very beginning, nothing was solidified. We weren't really together. We were just kind of kicking it. I said to this person, I said, you know what? I don't know. But what if the reason why me and you are together is for me to help you have a baby and that's it? And we laughed about it. And then we went on with another topic or whatever. So that was number one. That happened. Number two, within our relationship, after we had got married and everything, we talked about having a baby. Like we talked about really getting into having a baby, what it takes to have a child as far as, we are two women. Do you want to go the natural route? Do you want to get inseminated? What do you want to do? Right? What are our choices? So after we went over everything, she felt like she wanted to do it the natural way. Now, mind you, this is a woman. Excuse me. How you doing, Super Rainbow Queen? This is a woman who is a stud, like hardcore stud, dresses like a guy. Now, don't get it twisted. She will definitely dress feminine. I've seen her dress feminine before, but mostly for her outward appearance, she dresses like a guy. Okay. So for her, she's always told me there's no gray area in her sexuality. She doesn't do men. She tried to do a guy when she was in high school. She tried to have a boyfriend when she was in high school. It didn't work out. She thought if she was going to be with any guy, it probably would have been that guy. But again, shit didn't work out. She realized she liked women too much. Shit didn't work out. So ever since that point, she was like, I just don't do men. I don't do men at all. I don't date men. I don't talk to men like that. I don't think about men sexually. None of that. That's what was told to me. But, or should I say, however, when it came down to having a baby, this person decided to say, I think I want to go the natural route. Now, I know somebody probably saying, how the hell you married to this person and they gonna sit down and you gonna just let them get dick down like that so that they can go have a baby? At the time, me being a very understanding person, I already know what you're gonna say, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell the story. At the time, I felt like for me as a woman, even though I was dating another woman, however that woman wanted to conceive a child was however that woman wanted to conceive a child. I didn't feel like it was my place to be like, you can't have a child like this. You can't do that. Now, don't get it twisted. She definitely asked me how I felt about it. But at the same time, I could tell even with her asking me how I felt about it, she was very sure of what she wanted to do. Baby, if she was going to get some dick, she was going to get some dick. It didn't have nothing to do with me because at the end of the day, her whole point of the matter was, I want to have a baby. I'm in my mid-30s. As they say, time is ticking. I want to have a baby. So she was like, bam, I want to do it natural. But we had a situation that happened. We ended up having a threesome. I had never had a threesome before. This person was used to cheating in their last relationship, was used to hopping from I ain't gonna say hopping from person to person, but they were used to being open. And she ran the idea past me about a person being in the bed with us. And I was like, nah, I'm cool. I don't really want to share my person. But again, abandonment issues. I felt like the more that she kept asking me, and she wouldn't ask me like constantly, she would ask me for a minute, she would give it a rest for a couple months, and then she would come back and she would make a statement and she would ask me again. So after maybe like a year of her doing this, I was just like, you know what? Abandonment issues. I was like, I don't want to lose the person that I'm with. So if it means that we have to do this in order for her to have a baby, because then she started to flip it. She started to flip it like, well, maybe we should do this when it comes to me having a baby. I do want to have the baby natural. I feel like if we can have like a threesome situation where you're in the room, it would make me feel comfortable because I've never been with a man before and I'll feel comfortable having you there. And, you know, I'll be good. And then you're in the room. So obviously you're comfortable with it and we all consenting adults. This is what was told to me, right? And I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I really did not want that shit. I did not want that shit at all. But abandonment issues, I went ahead and went along with it. Long story short about the threesome went to the left because it did not go the way in which she wanted it to go. And this was the first time that I had ever heard her come out of her mouth and say, I'll be with you no more. I want a divorce. I said, okay, cool. It was what it was. I couldn't really fight it. And then eventually we ended up getting over that. So after that, the third point, insemination. After that situation happened, we decided, okay, let's go ahead and just go the insemination route. We looked it up. We looked up how much it was going to cost. At the time, it was about $10,000 and something dollars. Neither one of us had that. But we was like, whatever, we're going to try to figure this out. If we need to get a loan, whatever we need to do, we want to make our family pop. Okay. We want to extend our family. We want to extend our family. We want to buy another car. We want to move into, you know, buy our house and all this shit. Like we were doing those steps that you usually do when you with somebody. So yeah, we ended up going the insemination route. We looked at donors. We was looking at donors from this place in Washington State. We could not see any pictures of the donors. All we could see was like the description of the donors. Once we paid some money to get some more access, then we can see what their handwriting looked like and all kind of stuff like that. And based off of the description of the donor, we pretty much picked a donor that would look like me. We figured that, of course, with the baby growing in my ex-wife's body, that it was going to look like her. But then with us being together, we wanted a child that kind of looked like me. So we made sure to pick a brown skin guy and that has similar features to myself, right? Okay, so yes, we found the donor. I bought the sperm because at the time I had the money. I bought the sperm. We get the sperm. We had to do a whole bunch of shit to get the sperm. We ended up getting it. We did the insemination. Everything was cool. In the midst of us doing the insemination, from the time that she got inseminated to, no, I take it back. She had already lost a parent. She got her blessing from her last parent about having a child. And she thought that that parent was going to be there to see it come to fruition. Did not happen. She did not have time to grieve. We were moving at the same time. So trying to figure out our relationship from that fucked up ass threesome, trying to grieve the passing of your last parent being on this earth, then having to move to a new state, then having to switch jobs. It was just a lot going on. So nobody really had time to really do anything but just continuously just keep going. But she always kept in her mind that she still wanted to have a baby. Now, by this time, this is like November. This is November of the year before she had, the year before she had the baby. This is like November time frame. Our relationship is already on the rocks. This shit is already stressed after the threesome shit. We're not really communicating that well, but she still wants to have a baby. We're trying, we're talking. We talked about counseling. We didn't do that shit. We ended up getting on a good page for a second, and then bam, it was like, okay, cool. Still gonna do this baby shit. Inseminated her the following year in February. Yeah, inseminated her in February. Found out towards the end of February that she was pregnant. So all systems are a go, right? Okay. So at around the time that she was like 5 to 6 months pregnant, shit was not going well with us again. I already figured stuff wasn't going to be going well because of the fact that, you know, she's pregnant. She's never been pregnant before. She's going to be dealing with hormones. I pretty much looked at this situation as this is a woman who's having a baby for the first time. Irregardless of the fact that this is my wife or whatever, what have you, this is a woman having a baby for the first time. So she's going to go through many different things, especially when it comes to mood swings and all the things that are associated with pregnancy. So I try to keep that in mind. But at the same time, I'm the kind of person where I feel like you can check yourself. Like you can check yourself before you come at me with talking to me any kind of way. And she was good at that shit. It was like she tried to make it seem like it was the pregnancy when I was like, no, nigga, you really just want to say that shit. But yeah, anyway, 5 or 6 months into her pregnancy, shit was like really, really bad for us. We wasn't communicating. We wasn't having sex. It was just bad. And she was just like, you know what? I don't even want to be with you no more. I want to get separated. This is now her second time saying that she don't want to be with me. She want a divorce. She want to get separated, all this shit in the time that we've been together. I haven't said shit. I was like, okay, cool. I didn't want to fight her. I knew that this was a sensitive time for her being pregnant. I didn't want any type of problems for her. So I was like, if I am the one that is causing the problems, if I am the one that is causing the stress, how about I just remove myself? That's how I looked at it. Not like I don't want to be with you because maybe we can work this shit out. But how about I just remove myself from this situation? I found an apartment. She told me she wanted me to leave. She left me by myself over the weekend, went to go visit her family. When she came back from visiting her family, I had already secured an apartment and was ready to move in that week. She was not expecting that shit. It caught her by surprise, but what could you do? You said the shit, I did it. Don't keep telling me to do some shit and saying some shit and thinking I won't do it, because that's the kind of relationship that we had. It was a lot of times where I felt like she thought she could say whatever she wanted to say to just like get me back in, and she would. And then I started getting hip to some shit later on as time went on. Okay. So yeah, number 5. I moved back in the house with her. After I had moved out, got my own apartment, I had started school. I was doing good. I had money sitting in the bank. Everything was good for me. We talked. She came to my apartment. I remember everything like it happened like yesterday. She came to my apartment. We in the kitchen. She's sitting at the table, big pregnant. Excuse me. I'm sitting at I'm standing by the sink. And I was like, you know what? I think we should go ahead and get the divorce. I think that, you know, it's just a lot going on for us. We're not really on the same page. I'm doing good over here. You seem to be doing good at the house by yourself. We seem to, as far as it pertains to communication, the communication was a lot better when we were not with each other, when we were not in the same living quarters. Everything was fine. So I was like, you know, maybe we should just be friends. Maybe we should be business partners. I have no problem being there for you to help you as it pertains to the child and stuff like that. This is before the child get here. And I was just like, you know, I think this is what we should do. Baby, when I tell you she boohoo cried up in that kitchen, she boohoo cried in that kitchen. I don't want this. I want my family. I don't think we should do this. I'm talking about boohoo, snot booger cry. That shit played on my little heartstrings. Played on my heartstrings, and I was like, okay, I'm not saying no to like no, I don't want to get a divorce. I'm still saying I want to get a divorce, but maybe there's some things that we can work on. If we can agree to like go to counseling or whatever, then maybe we can work on this. We were talking about counseling. After this situation, we start talking about counseling more. We was like, okay, after we get through the pregnancy and the baby getting here, let's go to counseling. But not thinking postpartum, postpartum, postpartum. Not thinking about that, not factoring in none of that shit. But we had a plan. We had a solid plan, and we was like, we're going to stick to it. So being that we was constantly communicating, the plan seemed like it was going to work. Everything was seeming like it was coming around. I went and brought my ass back in the house. Yes, I did that shit. So once she was about 8 or 8.5 months pregnant, I decided to go back to the house because she was getting bigger. This is a small frame woman. She was getting a lot bigger. I was like, maybe she needs some help or whatever. Let me just go back to the house. Plus, we are in talks of going to counseling, working on our relationship. So let me go back to the house. So I stayed with her in the house. She's 8.5 months pregnant. I stayed with her until 1 month after the baby was here. So I stayed from 8.5 months to the 9th month. The baby came. I stayed an additional month. And then I was like, you know what? Okay, it's time for me to go home. We've had these clothes or whatever. I've been going back and forth to the house, switching out clothes, but I think I just want to give myself some time because kind of we pump the brakes on the talking about counseling. Of course, the new baby comes. Everybody's excited because of the baby. Families coming over and everything. Things still seem good between us, but we weren't really talking about it. And I just wanted some more time to myself to figure this shit out. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go home. It was a Friday. After I got out of school that evening, I think I came to see her. I might have not came to see her, but I know I wasn't there Saturday and Sunday, and I came back Monday. So I left. I was gone Saturday and Sunday. I came back Monday. I shit y'all not. When I came back Monday, she act like I had been gone for 12 years. When I tell you the way that our room was set up, when we are laying in the bed, I'm on this side of the bed, she on this side. The TV is in front of us. The baby's bassinet area is on my side of the room. Every time that the baby would cry or do something that seemed like we needed to go get him or just check on him, I'm on that side. I'm trying to give her some time, a little rest or whatever. I've been going all weekend. Let me help you out. I couldn't even get a toe on the fucking carpet before she ran around the fucking bed to go check on the baby. And then when she would notice what she was doing and notice how I was looking at her like, damn, you don't want me to do nothing. You don't want me to check on him when he's crying. If he needs to be changed, you run over here and grab everything away from me so you can change him. Her excuse was, well, I mean, when you left, I pretty much was doing everything by myself and I got used to just doing everything by myself. In 2 days, after I have been here for about 2.5, maybe 3 months, I leave for 2 days and you feel like I've been doing it all by myself. I got it. I don't need your help. She never said, I got it. I don't need your help. But that's the way she treated me. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm not tripping. Thinking back on it now, postpartum was a part of that, but it is what it is. So let me see. I got one more point on here before we get into the shit, because we're about to get into the shit. So yeah, after that situation happened, from that point moving forward, I just started to kind of like watch her and pay attention to her. She wasn't hitting me with no more of the I don't want to be with you stuff, but she wasn't saying it, but she was showing it. She was making me feel that way. She would start to isolate herself and the baby from me and my child. I have my daughter as well. My daughter's a lot older, but she started to isolate herself. So she would start doing things like if I'm downstairs, she would go upstairs. If I come upstairs and I'm upstairs for too long, she would grab the baby and she would go downstairs. I'm not thinking nothing of it. I said, it is what it is. Okay, cool, whatever. Then I ended up going on a trip. For my best friend. I ended up going home to my home state. My best friend wanted me to come for her birthday. I said, okay, cool. I secured everything, did everything, went on the trip. It was lovely while I was gone. Bitch, while I was gone. I started to think about things. I started to realize that this was a toxic relationship. I started to realize that I probably didn't need to be in this relationship anymore. But I was so invested. And plus, what I thought marriage meant. I was so enthralled into what I thought marriage meant and what it's supposed to be and what it's supposed to look like. So I was like, I have this strong feeling in me that when I get back home, I need to tell this person that I don't want to be with them. How the fuck do I do that? Like, really, how do I do that? I don't know what to do. Mustered up whatever courage I had inside of my body, child, and I came home. I went back to our house and I told her everything. I laid everything out. I was just like, I've seen different things. I've understood different things. And I just don't feel like this is safe for either one of us. I don't feel like this is good for either one of our children. And it was something that had been brewing for a while, but I was scared to say anything. And when I did say it and came to her, we both cried about it. We both basically, it was like we were crying because we knew that this was what we needed to do. But now the fact that the baby is here and everything, we was just like, man, this shit is crazy. Like the fact that this is what we wanted, now we got it, and now we splitting up. It was just really weird. But even though it was weird, we agreed that that was what we should do. We laughed about it. Her exact words was, this is the best breakup I've ever had in my life. This was the easiest breakup I've ever had in my life. Because we sat there and we made a plan. We was like, okay, this is what we're going to do as it pertains to the kids. Me being in his life, you being in her life. This is what it's going to be as it pertains to me and you. I no longer, hold on, y'all. Let's see if I can bring y'all back. Okay, we still live. Are we still live? We still going. Had a phone call. I thought I put it on Do Not Disturb. I did, but that came through. But anyway, let's keep going. And she might call back. But like I said, we was making a plan. We made plans. At the end of it all, we pretty much said, okay, we might not have a relationship with each other, like a romantic relationship with each other, but let's at least have a friendship. At that point, we had became really good friends, but we weren't romantic with each other. We weren't doing little romantic gestures. We weren't having sex. We hadn't had sex in a year. And everything was just almost like roommates. So it was like, okay, let's just continue going with what the fuck we've been doing. So we was like, okay, we're going to have a friendship. We're going to have a business relationship because we were doing a lot of business stuff together or trying to put some business stuff together, and it was coming out really nice. So we was like, let's just have that. We made a whole plan. Baby, let me tell you, we went to sleep that night. We woke up the next day. I'm skipping down the motherfucking steps. I'm skipping down the steps because I'm proud of myself for having the courage to do something that I felt like I could not do. I spoke up for myself when I felt like I needed to. I'm so proud of me. I'm so happy. The weight is lifted off of me because I'm like, now I got my friend. Now I just got my friend, my homie. We finna do this shit. Like we even talked about still living in the same house, still staying married or whatever for benefit purposes until maybe one of us decided to move out and get their own spot. We even talked about how it would go as far as if one of us met another person, what we would do, like the steps we would take. We laid it all out. Like this shit was all done. Woke up the next day. I'm good. Apparently she's not. She comes to me and she's looking all sad. She was looking sad all throughout the day. But she comes to me towards the afternoon time and she was just like, I really just want my family. I don't want to do this. I don't feel like we should be divorced. I think that we can work on this. I really want my family. And I looked at her and I was, as she rubbing my hand and shit, I got my hand on the back of the chair, she rubbing my shit. No, I think we good. I think the decision that we made is the best one for us. I don't think we should do that. We should just go ahead and get divorced. At this point in time, I have been told 3 separate times by this person that they don't want to be with me. They don't want to be with me. They don't respect me. They want to be separated from me, that we should expeditiously be separated. At one point, she was like, this needs to be expedited. We need to be separated immediately. Like the time before I got my apartment. Yeah, that one, we need to expeditiously be separated. I have dealt with that 3 times. I have only told this person now at this point twice that I don't want to be with them. The first time I told them, they boohoo cried. The second time I told them, now they coming back looking all sad. Again, I am dealing with a person, and let me be clear on this. I am dealing with a person who has always been in control. And I don't want to go too deep into telling her story because her story is her story. But something happened to her when she was younger where she was not in control of that situation. And I feel like from that point moving forward, she decided within herself, whatever I go through in life, I need to be in control. So dealing with a person who loves to be in control, every relationship that they've had before has always been them controlling it, down to the money, down to what they do, how the house is, where they live, what kind of cars they drive in a sense, whether or not they remain in a relationship. This is what this person has been controlling their whole entire life. So to have somebody else come in and make the decision for them when they're the decision maker, that shit was not going to fly. So her first line of defense was, I'm going to try to be really sad. I'm going to try to make it look like I'm just so sad about this and I just really want this and I'm going to try to get her back. It worked the first time. Gotcha, bitch. Didn't work the second time. I was not falling for that shit again. I was like, no, I feel too good after me saying it. Like, my daughter, again, she don't want nothing, y'all. I know somebody probably like, you need to answer your... I promise you she don't want nothing. So I was just like, no, I'm not finna do this. I'm good. Everything is fine. From that moment forward, after I said I didn't want it, and I shimmied my happy ass upstairs to go watch TV, from that moment forward, she changed on me. She went back to how she was. Hold on, y'all. I might have to, I don't know. I know they had a parade today. My baby did a parade today, so that could be why she calling me. But other than that, I don't see a reason. She probably want me to unlock her phone. That's why, because it's not time to unlock that phone, and she want me to unlock that phone, and I'm not gonna do it. I don't understand why do not disturb is not why it's not working, but it is what it is. I know why she calling now. But anywho, yeah, she changed. She immediately went back to the person that was taking her son and going in one room while I'm downstairs. She going upstairs. When I'm upstairs, she going downstairs. She started doing that shit a lot, but she took it to the extreme. So now not only are you isolating yourself, when you feel like you need to be upstairs at the same time that I'm upstairs, now you're going in his room with him and you're closing the door. You're locking yourselves up. I'm like, okay, that's weird, but okay, maybe this person now needs time to, understand what the fuck is really about to happen. Because I thought she understood that we was getting a divorce and everything was going to be over, but we was going to be cool. That was the plan that we made, but maybe she needs some more time. Okay, whatever. Let me give her some time. So now, outside of her doing that, locking them up in the room, she has now started to ignore me. I'm talking to her, I will say something to her, and she will walk past me as if I didn't say shit to her. And I said, well, damn. Now I can't even talk to this person. They won't listen to me. I let a full week go by just to see how that shit was going to go. I was like, okay. Matter of fact, no. I let Monday through Thursday go by. I said, yeah, this shit is not going to happen. This is not going to work. We can't do this. And I was like, you know what? In my head, let me tell y'all where I was at. In my head, I still wasn't on I just don't want to be around her or no shit like that. I was just on some, if I'm causing stress or if it's very stressful with this situation, with what we about to do, if I'm a part of that, if every time I come in the room, you got to leave a room, how about I just leave for a little bit? I had a friend who lived about 45 minutes away. I was like, I'm going to call my friend for this weekend. Me and my daughter is going to give her the weekend. We're going to go. We're going to go to my friend's house. Maybe we both just need some time to regroup away from each other. And then we'll come back to each other either on Sunday or Monday. And we'll talk about this. And we'll come up with this plan and make sure everything is working. Child, I left on Friday. Let me tell you how it happened when I did it. So Friday comes. She's in the room. She watching Martin on TV. The baby, she didn't put the baby down for a nap. And she in there watching Martin. When I tell you she was in there hardcore, dying, laughing at the show. I'm talking about just getting it. I'm in my daughter's room a little bit down the hallway. And I was like, okay, I just need to go in there and let her know. Because I'm starting to get close together. I had already contacted my friend, let my friend know what was going on. She was cool with me coming to stay. I just need to now let her know because I feel like it's right. Respect. I'm going to go and do this for this reason. I will be back. This is my plan. So I get all our stuff together as far as the clothes and everything. And then I went to the door. I knock on the door. The door was open, but I knock on the door. She goes from hardcore laughing when I knock on the door. I'm talking about I caught her in the middle of just like, ah, ha, 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 laughing. I knock on the door and say, excuse me. She turns around with this stank ass look on her face and she was like, what? I said, can I talk to you for a minute? I don't know. I have a really bad headache. It's not going to take that long. You got a bad headache, but you in here laughing to this show. Okay, it's not going to take that long. And then she just sat there like, okay, talk. And I was like, yeah, so me and my child is about to get ready to go to such and such house for the weekend or whatever. And then we'll be back. I just wanted to let you know, just in case, you know, you seen a car pull up outside or whatever. There go my baby again. I just want to let you know, just in case you see a car pull up outside or whatever, and you wondering who pulling up in front of your house, this is who it is. Because I think at the time, we had just got a new car, but the one other car that we had, we ended up giving it to somebody else. We was gonna get another car once we moved. So we had just got a new car, so I didn't have a car anymore. I asked my friend to come pick me up. She was like, all right, cool. I let her know that, and what she responded to me with was, you grown, you ain't got to tell me where you going. Bitch, I thought we was married. I thought we was trying to do shit copacetic. I'm trying to be respectful. I'm not just trying to walk out the door and just leave and not tell you nothing. What the fuck? But that's what she decided she wanted to do. So now we're about to get into the good shit. Now we're about to get into this binder, baby. If you've been here with me this long, baby, now we're about to get into this binder because this is when this shit heats up. So, let me turn this fucker around. So, while I was gone, she did not call to check on me to see how I was doing. I did not call to check on her to see how she was doing. I broke some stuff down to my friend. But in the midst of me breaking shit down to my friend, I realized for myself, I was like, this is not healthy. The plan that we have initially made is not a horrible plan, but some of the shit is just not going to work. Like, we're not going to be able to live together. We're not going to be able to stay together. We should be divorced. Like, if we going to still do the friendship and let the kids hang out with each other, video call with each other, and do the business partnership, this relationship, this romantic shit got to get cut. Like, we can't do this shit. So I decided within that weekend, because of how she was maneuvering and what I had went over in my brain, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to move out. At this time, I have moved out of my apartment, forfeited my security deposit because I moved before my lease was up. Forfeited my security deposit. I moved back in the house with her, moved me and my child back in the house with her. So now I have nothing. Like, when I had everything, when I moved out and got my own apartment, I had a car, I had money in the bank. Everything was good. Now I'm leaving with just the shit that I got in the house, no car, barely any money. But bitch, I'm ready to go. I'm tired. I'm done. So I left. I hit her up. Let me see. Let me make sure. Okay. Yeah, because this is the first page. All right. So let's start reading these text messages and getting into this shit. Let me get a little sip of water because, baby, I've been talking for 38 minutes. I didn't think it was going to go that far, but here we are. All right. Tea time. So I made sure to screenshot all the messages, all the emails. Now, what I will say before I get into this is that there are some emails, like after all these text messages and stuff, there are some emails that are missing from out of here. I want to say that there's somewhere else. I just have not found them. Because I did a video on this before. Like, I actually did a video where I read all the text messages and emails that I had up until that point. And I want to say those emails were in that video, but for whatever reason, I couldn't find them when I was putting this binder together. But baby, I will, because trust me, I printed out every fucking thing. Okay. Now, in conclusion, I have all the text messages, no, all the emails from just recently, because we just finished talking with each other like 2 days ago. So I started off and I say this. Hey, I'm going to put my hand up when it's me talking so you know it's me, okay? Hey, I know you said I didn't have to tell you what I'm doing, but I have too much respect and love for you to not give you some type of heads up. I'm coming to get the rest of our things this morning. I'm letting you know, just in case you would rather not be present, and I should only be an hour to an hour and a half. Like I said before, I don't want much. And y'all need most of that stuff more than us. I don't want to continue to be insensitive to your healing when you obviously need time and space to process. And I can't stand to see you guys cooped up in the room most of the day. It's not healthy for either one of you. And whether you believe it or not, that matters to me. Even though you don't have many words from me. Hold up, second page. Even though you don't have many words from me, I'll text you as little as possible to let you know when I'm en route. And if you guys aren't there when we pull up, I'll let you know we arrive and when we leave. And I'm saying we because at the time I was going to bring my daughter, and I'm glad I didn't. And I'll tell you why. I'll get into that shit. I was going to bring my daughter so that my daughter could see her one final time. They can hug and all of that shit. But I'm so glad I didn't. Let's keep it going. I know you're going to be okay, and I love you dearly. My hopes are that we can work things out for our babies and still remain the best of friends, because even though this is tough, I know you understand, and that gives me so much hope for us. I love your son. I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to say her name. I love your son so much, and I hope that you continue to allow me to watch him grow, as I want you forever in my daughter's life. I put a heart. I may seem nonchalant, but if you really know me, you know I'm feeling it too. Maybe you feel like, let me see where I was at. Okay. Maybe you feel like you don't know me. And honestly, I've been feeling that way a little too. But I know this is necessary for us both to win. And I still want to see you win, even if it ain't with me. And I know you feel the same. I love you no matter what. That is the message that I sent to her before I came to the house to come get my stuff. Respectable, still trying to kind of like talk in a sense of like the things that we had planned on doing, still kind of throwing some of that shit in there. Not mean, not trying to be hurtful to her or nothing like that. Right? Now she's talking. Put my finger down because it ain't me. Before you pack up and leave, I have some words before we part ways. Okay. She keep on doing it. I won't take too much of your time. On my way. By this point, I have secured the U-Haul. I am en route to her house. Then she texts me. Oh, no, she said, can it wait? Not the best time right now. I have another page. I'm going to show y'all a little bit of the page. You can see it upside down. I have another page that when it printed out, I was printing on my computer and it didn't print out fully. But she said, can it wait? Not the best time. I believe I said I'm already en route. And then she texts me, never mind. Now here comes the spicy shit. We're finna start getting spicy, bitch. She texts me a picture of her holding her son. But it was really just a picture of him. She wanted me to see him. And she said and the picture had words that said, how could you look me in one eye? How could you look me in one eye and say goodbye to me? She's now starting to use her child for sympathy. Okay. I didn't say anything. She hit me with a question mark. Then from there, she screenshotted the message that I sent to her. No. She did not screenshot that shit. She did not. That's coming later. Hold on. Let me stick to the plan. After she sent me that picture, I responded with this. It's never goodbye. Put my finger up. Always see you later. Good energy doesn't want to be separated, and I believe that you will find me one day just the way you initially did. You chose us. We didn't choose you. I know you'll find me again, Sugar Bear, because that's what I used to call him. I used to call him Sugar Bear. You will find me again, Sugar Bear, and I'm counting the days, months, years, or however long it takes till then. Love you to life, kiddo. Heart, heart, heart. Okay? Then she says, you hurt him. Can't be worse than what you pulled today. I didn't ban myself from him. LOL, find your reasoning. I sent the thumbs up. Then she says, what I pulled, LOL, you got your nerve. I know I'm horrible. I'm pretty sure you drilled it enough. By this point, I have already came to the house. I have already picked up my stuff. I have already left the house. And now she's texting me as I'm like driving back to my friend's place with all of my stuff. So let me give you a little context of what happened. When I pulled up to the house of the U-Haul, she didn't even give me an opportunity to get out of the truck. Soon as I opened the door to the U-Haul truck, baby, she was already around the corner waiting on me. She had her son on her left hip. She threw that right hip in the air, and that hand was going off, and she was just talking smack. There was a dude sitting at the house next door to us, sitting on his porch, minding his lovely business, But baby, when she started doing all that screaming, yelling, and shouting, he took his happy ass in the house and probably started looking from the blinds. As she's going off in the street, loud in the street, not yelling, but she loud enough. As she's going off in the street, I'm just sitting in the truck just like, I'm looking around. If it would have hit me, I probably would have put my phone on so I could have recorded everything she was saying, but I didn't. I heard everything she said. She was telling me how I was wrong. She was telling me how she's his mom. What did she say? She was like, I'm his mom and I speak for him. And if you're going to keep doing this in and out of his life type of stuff, then I'm going to speak for him because he can't speak for himself. And if you're going to keep doing this type of behavior, you don't need to be around my son and my son don't need to be around you. Again, I'm not saying nothing. I'm letting her cook. I'm letting her do what she do. So she's saying all of that. My son don't need you for nothing. You don't need to be in his life. She kind of just kept repeating what she said over and over in different ways. But the gist of it was, we don't need you in our life. Can't believe you did this shit. If you're going to do something like this, I don't want you in his life ever. That's what she pretty much said. It took her about 15 minutes to say that shit, but she said that. Once she finished talking and she took a breath and I felt like she was done, I said, are you done? Because I need to get my stuff. Turned around and walked off. Didn't say shit to me. She caught an attitude because I guess she thought I was going to have more to say to that shit. But I was like, I'm over it at this point. I don't need to fuss with you. I don't need to fight with you. I've already said what needs to really be said. I just want to get my shit. So, and plus with seeing her confrontational the way that she was, I knew I wasn't going to get through to her. So I was like, there's no point in me trying to talk to you really. As I was going in the house to go get my stuff, I realized that the reason why she told me, can it wait? It's not a best time, was because she was trying to pack me and my daughter's shit up herself. And I guess put it in the garage so I didn't have that far to go. So when I got upstairs, all of my stuff that was in our shared closet was in my daughter's room. All my shoes, my clothes, all of my things out of the bathroom. Anything that I had in the room, in our shared room, was in my daughter's room. She had started to begin filling up garbage bags with all of our shit, but she was not done. She started, but she hadn't got nowhere. So everything was pretty much in my daughter's room. So I saw where everything was. I went in my daughter's room. I started just putting shit in bags, grabbing stuff, putting shit in bags, taking bags downstairs, throwing them in the U-Haul. This is what I'm doing the whole time. As I'm doing this, she's walking around the house huffing and puffing. I guess she thought she was going to make me mad or jealous or whatever, because then she started to call her home state because she was like, okay, I'm getting ready to move. I can't afford this place by myself. She was on the phone with different realtors, talking to different people all loud in the house. Oh yeah, it's just me and my son. Me and my son are about to move in. It's just us two and all that shit. And I was like, okay, it is what it is. I only said I said something to her twice. And the only reason why I said something to her twice is because she had something in her possession that was mine and I wanted it back. Now, even though we were married, we got food stamps. I was the one that applied for food stamps. On the food stamps, I had myself, I had my daughter, I had my ex-wife, I had her son. When it was time for me to get all my shit and get out the house, as I was doing that, she was on the phone. She walked up the stairs, went past my daughter's room, or the room, we'll just say the room. She went past the room and was on the phone. And I said, hey, can I get my food stamp card back? Because I needed food. I didn't really have a whole bunch of money, but I needed food. She heard me and didn't say nothing, or she didn't hear me. I assumed that she didn't hear what I said because she was on the phone. So I was like, okay, I'm going to wait till she's not on the phone, whether that be downstairs, upstairs. I'm going to wait till I hear her silent. And then I'm going to go to her and I'm going to say it again, ask for my card back. Now, my intentions with the card, no, I bullshit you not. My intentions with the card were this. Being that I knew that at the time I was getting money for all four of us on the card, I wholeheartedly had no problem splitting that money down the middle. I get half, you get half. We can go to the grocery store together and we can buy the stuff that we need separately, come together at the front, and we check out and we good to go. Because technically you're not supposed to have my card because your name's not on it. But I was okay with doing that. But at the time where I was going to moving into somebody else's house, I didn't have a lot of money from getting this U-Haul and getting shit straight. I needed food for myself and my child. You have my food money in your possession. So she walks past the room again. When she walks past the room again, she was no longer on the phone. She had been off the phone for probably about 5 to 8 minutes while she was upstairs just moving shit around. She walks past the room again. I'm not moving anything in the room to make noise. When I tell you it was so quiet in the house, the only thing you could hear was the dryer, bitch. That was it. And I said again to her, I said, hey, you got my food stamp card. Can I have my card? I need to get food. She walks her ass downstairs. Didn't say nothing to me. I said, okay, cool. I'll just text it to her. Whatever. Got downstairs, started getting my shit out the kitchen. Went into the garage, started getting shit out the garage. She comes in the garage. She lifts the garage door. Yeah, you can get this. Trying to tell me what I can get like I don't know what my shit look like. So I'm starting to gather my stuff. I went to go grab this little like big wheel type of thing. It was some little thing that my daughter had. This little bike that she could ride in the street. I went to go pick the bike up. She goes in front of me and picks the bike up. Now, mind you, the whole time she doing this shit, she has her son on her hip. She picks up my daughter's bike, and I'm like walking behind her. I'm not chasing her because it's like she's gunning it to the street. And I'm like, okay, maybe she's going to put the bike in the fucking U-Haul for me. I don't know. Maybe she's trying to help me get my shit out the house because she wants me going that fucking bad. I'm walking behind her, and as I'm walking behind her, I'm like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to grab anything. I shit you not. She grabs the fucking bike and tosses the bitch in the street. This is where I was like, I'm glad I didn't bring my daughter. Because I know and understand how people will do anything to get to you. And I know sometimes people will use your kids to try to rile you up. And I'm kind of like beyond that shit. Like I know that you're going to do that trying to get to me. So I'm not really going to pay attention to that shit. But it pissed me off. I'm not going to front. And from that moment forward, I had nothing else to say to her. I saw how she was moving and I was like, okay, I just need to get the rest of my shit and leave. I honestly left some shit. I packed the damn U-Haul so tight. I left a couple of things, but there were things that I left too that were big item things that I was like, I don't really need that right now. Like I left our washing machine. I left furniture. I was just like, I don't have space for that. I don't have money to get no storage. I don't have space for that in my friend's garage. I'm not trying to have her garage full of all my shit like for too long. I don't even know how long I'm gonna be there. So I'm good. So now this is the correspondence. This is where the texting picks up, where she's like texting me as I'm driving to the house, as I'm putting all this different shit in my friend's house. She's texting me. Okay, so let me see. Okay, I said, I know I'm horrible. I'm pretty sure you drilled that enough. We had one phone conversation. I did not really get a word in. She screamed and yelled on the phone, calling me all kind of names, calling me all out my name, telling me how I'm just the worst person ever in life. She just went on a whole list of shit, just saying how horrible of a person I was. And I was like, okay, are you done? And then she hung up in my face. So after I said, I know I'm horrible, I'm pretty sure you drilled it enough, she says, I don't take anything back from what I said because that was real, and take it for what it is. My action and words matched how I felt. I'm done. Take care. I sent her the peace sign. Thought she was done. She said she was fucking done. I thought she was done. She texted me 5 minutes later. You have some deep pain, and I get it, but don't turn this on me. You handled this the way you chose, and this is what you get. No respect because you gave none. I could have swore my first message was hella respectful, but okay. Then she texts again. I'm hurt beyond words and have all right as you do at this point. I have to completely let go and it hurts like fuck. Call me back when you can talk. Then she sent me a screenshot because I didn't respond to her. I was just like, what the hell? I didn't respond to her. Then she sends me the screenshot of the initial message that I sent to her saying how I care about her, I love her, how I still want to be in his life. I'm trying to respect how you feel, your healing. She sends me a screenshot of that. And then after she sent me a screenshot of that, she says, how? ? Exclamation mark. You picked the fine time, Mrs. her last name. What other choices have you made behind my back? Where is the loyalty? What happened? What did I do to deserve this type of disrespect? By the way, you may want to contact me because you have a responsibility you're neglecting. And by law, that's abandonment. So basically, me deciding to leave the house for the few hours now that I have left the house. I'll take it back. For me leaving the house for the weekend and then deciding to just move out. Never not one time saying that I wouldn't do for the child. Never not one time saying I don't want nothing to do with the child. Nothing. Now I have abandoned my responsibilities. I have attempted to contact you and no response. We need to take care of our affairs and then you can go on your way. But if you continue to neglect your responsibilities, it's only making the situation look really bad on you. I'm not neglecting anything or anyone. You told me as I was sitting in the moving truck that you didn't want me in his or your life and that you were going to be okay. Did you not? I'm trying to be respectful and understanding of what you said you want, irregardless of my feelings. And now being told I'm neglecting responsibilities that you took away from me. I don't want to argue with you or get on the phone with you and hear you discredit my character over and over. You think I suck? Cool. I'm a messed up individual? Cool. You don't want me around? Cool. But pick a side and stick to it. Then she says, I remember what I said. You walked away from your responsibility as a wife and mother. I don't need to pick any side. I'm choosing to handle this responsibly and not get caught in the wordplay. Please take care of your responsibility or my hand will be forced to ensure you do what's right. Now I want y'all to continuously remember the words or the phrase. My hand will be forced to do what's right. Now, at this point, because let's see, 5 plus 7, okay, yes. At this point, let me tell you what happened. When I realized that she heard what I said and she wasn't giving me my food stamp card back, I still had in my mind the plans of splitting the money with her halfway. But again, I don't have my card. I don't have money to buy my own child food. The card is in my name. I have half of that money on that card, but you want to keep it. She does not get food stamps by herself. She has it because of me. She was getting WIC for her son though. So she was able to get milk and eggs and formula and all that shit that come with WIC, right? I decided to call the food stamp place or the number or whatever. Or I think I went online, whatever the fuck I did. I decided to cut the card off. I cut the card off so that they can mail me a new card. I said the card was lost and I cut it off. I'm not doing this because I'm trying to be spiteful to her. I'm doing this because I need food for my kid. I don't even know how long it's going to take me to get this card. My friend is helping me out and, buying little knickknack things, but I'm not trying to dig in her pockets. I'm not trying to do that. That's not right. Give me what the fuck I'm supposed to have. Why are you being dirty? So I cut the card off. Even with me cutting the card off, y'all, even with me cutting the card off, I still had it in my mind. Even after going through all this shit, what she's saying to me and everything, I still had it in my mind to split the money with her. But then we get to this. He needs food, and you deactivated the card on September 18th after you abandoned your spouse and infant. Again, with this abandonment shit. Then I said, since when is leaving from an unhealthy situation before things escalate walking out on my responsibility? Would you still feel comfortable living somewhere you're no longer respected? Don't act like he doesn't get WIC. If you needed food for him and didn't have money to get it, why would you not let me know? I have no problem sending you money through Cash App for his food, but I'm not going to be taken advantage of. I asked for the card back when you walked past me and you did not answer me. You heard me speak. So even if you didn't hear what I said, if you wanted to know, you could have asked. I cut the card off and changed all the information on it so that I no longer receive money with everyone on there, just me and my daughter. However, I understand that until they fix it in the system, I'll still get paid the same. I'm totally willing to split that until it reflects the new amount. Still being respectful after I've been disrespected on so many occasions, so many times. And then I said again, I would never force your hand or you to do anything you wouldn't want to. So do what you feel is necessary for you to sleep better at night and him to be taken care of. You know you make more money than me, but if you feel it's necessary to go after it, then so be it. Now, the reason why I said that was because she had told me at this point, she had gave me the ultimatum. She said, these are your choices. You can either pay me child support or you can relinquish all of your parental rights in my son. I said, okay. But again, she was more so forcing the whole child support. Like, she gave me these options, but she kept more so talking about child support and paying and giving her money for him and his needs and all this stuff like that, as if I didn't even have a child at all. And I'm just like, I don't understand why you're constantly pushing for child support and saying stuff like I'm going to force your hand to do stuff when you're giving me a choice. Let me have some time to make my choice. What's wrong with you? So that's where we are. She says, you need to own up and stop manipulating the situation. Pointing fingers isn't solving anything. I said, because by this point, she had left me a voicemail on my phone that I don't have that phone no more, but she had left me a voicemail. And it had something in there where she was saying that something about at least her child will be taken care of. She wanted me to do something so that at least her child will be taken care of. And I responded with, at least your child will be taken care of, like you said in the voicemail. I don't know if she wanted to leave that voicemail or what, but that's what the fuck she said. Then she said, please just stop. If you're trying to find a way to put this all on me to deflect the responsibility of this downfall, you seriously are delusional. I said, I'm not pointing fingers. This is both our faults. Forcing a relationship that wasn't working. We were trying, but it wasn't working. I know I played a part in that. We are the reason the relationship didn't work. I am the reason I left. How is that putting blame? It's fact. Then she says, I don't care if you wanted to leave, but you could have went about it completely differently. If you respected me like you said, but you don't, and that's fine. And then I said, again, your opinion. You can't tell me if or how I care or if I have respect, and vice versa. It's all emotions, because she's pretty much talking to me going off of the fact that she's pissed off about this situation and it's not going in the way she wants to. So she's putting all her emotions in this shit. Put the emotions aside. I know you're feeling it. If you need a day to get through this shit and then come back and talk to me, you can, but that's not what she's choosing. So I'm trying to still talk to this person reasonably. As you can see, I'm not dealing with a reasonable bitch. I said, I don't know how much / if you have cried at all about this, but I can't call you insensitive because of what I don't know and how it makes me feel not to know. Doesn't make sense. She says, it's necessary to do what's right, and that's all that matters to me at this point. I said, okay, so what do you need from me? You say I'm neglecting my responsibilities, yet have not asked me for anything. You didn't even ask me to leave y'all alone. You demanded. So what is it that you need? You didn't even ask me to get his food, but I offered. And it's a little alarming if you're telling me he doesn't have food, but those plane tickets are booked, but the offer still stands. And I said that because we had a trip that we was planning, and through the midst of this, we had to come up with the rest of the money for the trip or whatever. And of course, I'm not going anymore, but the deadline was coming to pay the money for the trip. And I was just like, if you didn't already pay for that trip, but your son ain't got no food, that's some shit. And mind you, also at the time we had the same plug. It was a girl that I went to school with. We had the same plug. The day that I went to go re-up, the plug, who had no idea what was going on, was like, dang, y'all must be having a serious session over there, because she just came over here yesterday. And I said, she just came yesterday? Now, mind you, this happened, that situation with the plug happened after I sent her money. You don't know I sent her money? Let me tell you. She says, shaking my head, you are delusional. I'm offering her money for her son's formula because she claimed she ain't got no money to buy him food. And I'd have cut the card off and they over there starving, or he's starving. He's starving. She didn't say her. He's starving. I'm offering to send you money. Your response to me offering to send you money that you probably didn't fucking need was shaking my head. You are delusional. I got his food. He won't go without. Trust. But I shouldn't have to ask if he is your responsibility too. Bitch, how the fuck I'm supposed to know he need food if I'm not at the house? How the fuck am I supposed to know that he ran out of formula if I'm no longer there? If you need formula for him and you don't have money and I'm the other parent, ask me for the fucking money. If I don't live with you, how the fuck am I supposed to know? So basically what you're trying to get me to do is I'm just supposed to just, he needs food. Let me send her money. Let me buy a whole bunch of formula and give her some fucking food and give her some money for food. I'm just supposed to, I dream a genie that shit. Apparently that's what the fuck she thought I was supposed to do, but I'm the delusional one. I'm the delusional one. So she says she got his food, right? I'm offering her money for the food. Oh, I already got his food, but you didn't have no money. But I already got his food. Okay. She says, you still deflecting. Then she says, are you okay? You really don't see where you were wrong, do you? Again, I've acknowledged my wrongdoing in this situation. Even after I left, and let me put this in there too. After I left her, because she constantly keeps talking about I neglected my responsibilities as a parent and as a wife, right? When I left, bills were a certain type of way in this house. She made a lot more money than I did, but we still managed to split bills in a way to where she took care of certain shit, I took care of certain shit. And if there was something that was really big, like the car insurance, we split that payment. Anything that I was responsible for paying in that house, I made sure I paid my part. If it was something that I needed to pay half on, I made sure I paid the half. I handled all of my business that I was supposed to be handling because I did not want to leave her in that predicament, even though she was talking to me like shit. I still was like, I'm not going to leave her high and dry. I'm going to pay my half of this car insurance money. I'm going to pay the, what is it? I think it was the phone bill. I'm going to pay my half, or I think I was paying the full electricity bill. She was taking care of rent. She was taking care of some other stuff, but we had it set up in a nice way. So again, when I left, it wasn't like I was like, oh, I got my money and I'm not doing anything. I still took care of the shit that I was supposed to take care of in the house because as a person, I felt like it was right. And I felt like I would have been wrong if I didn't do that. So after she said the whole, are you okay? You really don't see where you were wrong, do you? Then she says, I can own the fact that I wasn't present in our relationship. But when it came to taking care of household and bills, that still had to happen regardless. And for you to deflect the overall situation and completely neglect the fact that you and I had her son, and you felt it was okay to use what I said to keep you from being a responsible parent. If I decided to rent a U-Haul and move out, giving you an hour and a half notice that I'm moving the rest of my items after not coming home the night before and not even calling or texting out of respect, because that is what married people do. You don't see anything wrong with that, but you use my words against me and to manipulate the whole situation to justify your actions. You're wrong for neglecting your responsibility as a partner. And that was the ultimate betrayal, to go behind my back and dip without giving me a chance to handle things properly. I told you all of those things because I have all right. This is her saying she told me all the nasty shit she said to me. She had every right to say that shit to me. And she's right. She can say whatever the fuck she wants. It's about what I claim. My son can't speak for himself, but I can. And I'd be damned if I let anyone jump in and out and think it's okay. Again, reiterating some of the shit she said when I was sitting in the U-Haul. If you think you're going to jump in and out his life like this, to be in and out his life like this, then I have all right to say that you can't be in his life anymore. Okay, cool. Now, did you notice in this where she said that I didn't give her no respect? I didn't give her no heads up. I just did all of this shit on a whim. Do you remember when I said, when I was getting ready to leave for the weekend, that I came to her and I told her, hey, this is where I'm going. This is where I'm going to be at. I just want to let you know, because out of respect, we're married. I just want to let you know where I'm going to be at, because I didn't think I was not coming back. And what was her response? Her response was, you grown. You ain't got to tell me what you're doing. But now, because shit ain't going your way, you forgot all about that shit. And now you want to sit here and say, you didn't give me no respect. You didn't give me no heads up. Moving on. Then she said, because this is her series of messages. She likes to do series of messages. You said you were being insensitive to my healing. Well, you interrupted my healing with the way you have went about all of this. I'm not trying to take anything from you that you aren't willing to give my son. But how could I want or expect anything from you after you pulled this? You're not trying to take nothing from me. But I ended up on child support. Keep it going. If I had just up and left, it would have been real fucked up, huh? Because you would not have been able to afford the place alone. But you didn't consider anything on my part. Simply understand you don't know how to love me, and I clearly don't know how to love you. But I can respect that for what it is. I said, I'm the one that doesn't know how to love you, yet I've been the one being called all the names but my own, and not once have I done it to you. Again, what am I trying to deflect? Now my stomach is going banana sandwich. What do you need? And if you don't need anything from me, how am I neglecting anything? Because again, I paid my half of the bills. Her talking about constantly bringing up the rent. I would not have been able to afford that place on my own if she moved out. You didn't give me time to handle bills and stuff like that. Baby, you paid the rent out of your check. That never came out of my check. We never split rent. That $1,200 came from you. Everything else outside of that, either you handled the bill altogether, I handled the bill altogether, or we agreed to split bills. So she's just pulling shit out of her ass at this point because she's using anything to get some sympathy. She said, I can't go back and forth through this phone. Either we come together as two adults and talk or nothing. I said, I'm always down to meet and talk respectfully. If you're down to come out here, I'm down to go somewhere and talk because I didn't want her to come to my friend's house. But I was cool with meeting somewhere. We got kids. We can go to the park. We can even go to the little jump place if you want to go inside. She said, you think we can meet? This is when she started trying to sound sensible, bitch. You think we can meet at the park? Because you have mail here. So you can either get what you left here or meet me and him at the park. She wanted me to come to her house. I wasn't coming to her house no more. Or if that doesn't work, we can talk on the phone and we both don't have to go. We both don't have to go anywhere. Let me know. Starting to sound like a sensible person, right? After all this shit she said, now she started to sound like she got a little bit of sense, like she got some respect for somebody. So I responded, finger up. The park is fine if you're able to come here. If not, the phone is fine. Whichever is chosen is fine with me, as long as it can be done tomorrow or anytime other than right now. If you want to wait till Monday, when our conversation can be even more private, that works too. I have nowhere to really slip off to and talk at the moment. I believe this was because it was either a Friday or Saturday, so I had my daughter. I wasn't trying to go through that. I was like, if you want to, we can wait till Monday when my daughter's in school, and then we could talk. I'm cool with that. Even though she had said all the shit, even though she had said all the shit she said to me on the phone, over-talked me on the phone, hung up in my face multiple times, I still was okay with talking to her on the phone. I was like, however you want to solve this situation to get out whatever the fuck you need to get out, go ahead. Let's do this shit. She says, okay, well, we can talk Monday. Here go the killer part, bitch. Here go the killer part. Can you cash at me some money for his, there you go, my bad. Can you cash at me some money for his soy milk? I spent money that I didn't really have because you deactivated the card. He doesn't have any more milk on his wick. So you spent money to buy his food, and now you're telling me to cash app you money to buy his food, but you already bought his food. But really, in actuality, you're probably telling me to send you money to reimburse you for the money that you spent, as if you're not a parent and money shouldn't come out of your fucking pocket at all. But okay, let's keep it going. I said to her, of course. I sent her a cash app. She said, thanks. I sent her a heart emoji. Bitch, you think I'm lying? Here is the fucking cash app. This is her information. This is how much I sent to her. The milk that the boy was drinking, the milk that the baby was drinking was soy milk. It was soy formula. The shit cost $35. No, was it 35? No, I think it cost like 38 something or whatever. But I sent her $45 to buy the milk. I did not fuss with her on it. I did not go back and forth with her on it. I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna send it to you. It is what it is. So now, at our intermission time, because I got another piece of paper we gotta go over first. So remember in the beginning, if you've been here all this time, I said that there was some information missing. Okay. After I sent her this Cash App, we ended up talking on the phone on Monday. When we talked on the phone, of course, when we get on the phone, she was going off as usual. When I finally got a word in, I was like, can you let me explain everything and be quiet and let me explain everything in its entirety? Because you keep picking shit apart that I'm saying before I can finish the fucking thought. Can you stop talking? Okay, fine. Go ahead and say what you need to say. I explained to her from what she was doing in the house with her son, locking up in the room with him. I go downstairs, she go upstairs, she go upstairs. I explained to her all that shit. I explained to her my thought process as I was moving through that week. I explained to her what happened to her, what happened when I came to her and told her I was leaving for the weekend and how she responded. I expressed to her what my thought process was in the midst of me getting the U-Haul. I explained all of this shit to her. Everything I explained to y'all and how I wanted it to go is how I explained the shit to her, verbatim. When I finished talking to her, she said to me, are you dyslexic or something? You really are fucking delusional. None of that shit makes sense. You wasn't trying to do that, because if you was really trying to do that, you wouldn't have done things the way in which you done it. I got ready to say something, and she started over talking me again. I hung up in her face. She called me back. I answered the phone. No, I didn't answer the first time. She called me back again. I answered the phone. I couldn't say shit. She was yelling. She continued to yell. I think that conversation lasted about maybe 2 minutes, because the end of it was her hanging up in my face. She wanted to get the last click. That's what she wanted to do. Because again, we're dealing with a person who likes to be in control. They have to have the last word, the last say, the last everything in order for this shit to go right. Once that happened, I blocked her. I blocked her on my phone. I knew her email, and I let her know that if she wanted to contact me, it needed to be through email, because what you're not going to do is you're not going to overtalk me. You're not going to keep telling me what I am, who I am, and all of this extra shit. I'm not finna sit there and listen to that shit. So what we can do is we can email each other back and forth so it can be clear-cut communication. It's almost like texting. But I don't want you to have my number no more, because I was getting ready to change my phone number. So we're talking through emails. The only thing we had left to handle, and this is in 2018. This is around, I want to say December. No. September. This is in October. This is in October of 2018. We talking through emails. This is when she reiterates the whole, thank you, Jamisha. It is bad, but it is a good story, child, because I'm telling you, people just, but anywho, she ends up giving me the ultimatum again in email. You need to either pay child support or you need to relinquish your rights. You need to tell me what you're going to do. Then we started talking about the cell phone. I had the cell phone in my name. She was under my plan. I asked her what she wanted to do in regards to the cell phone. She was like, well, just give me to the 1st. This is October. She said, give me to the 1st. And then I'll go ahead and get my own phone. You can cancel. That's what she said. She said, you can cancel it on the 1st. I'll be to have my own phone, because how pay periods work, both of us with how we got paid a little bit before the 1st, even though the 1st was technically our pay date. So I was like, okay, cool. We didn't really talk anymore after that. Is that what I have on this paper? Yes, I blocked her number. And then come November, I believe November 1st. November 1st. I waited and gave it to the 1st. I cut that fucking line off. I had every right. Bitch, I'm paying the bill. I'm not going to be paying $90. I'm not going to be paying shit for you. Go get your own fucking phone. So I cut the phone off. Y'all. So one thing I left out, and this is important. When I cut the card off, when I cut the food stamp card off, she called me from the house. And she called me and she was like, I can't believe you cut the food stamp card off. I can't even get food for my son. This is when we still texting. I can't believe you cut the card off. I can't get food for my son. That was very embarrassing. I'm up there with all this food and I get up there to swipe the card and the card don't work. That's my problem. My card not working for you is my problem. So she was pissed off about that. Then when I cut the cell phone off, y'all, she went to the phone company. She called me off of the company people phone. Called my phone crying. You cut my cell phone off. Why would you do that when you needed help? I was there to help you. You didn't even give me time to get my stuff together. I can't believe you would be. Why are you doing this? And I simply said, you told me on the 1st that I could cancel this and that you would be fine. That you would have a phone. I'm not doing anything outside of what we already discussed was going to happen. She tried to say something else. Click up. I hung the phone up on her ass. Because what you're not going to do is you're not going to be using Cricket company time and they phone to call me with this bullshit. That's what you're not finna do. So I hung up on her ass. From there, she had a vendetta against me. And it is what it is, you know. But at this time, I'm starting to feel myself. I'm feeling my power. I'm starting to be sure of myself. I'm starting to get confidence in myself. I'm proud of myself because I have never, not in my whole entire fucking life, ever did this like this with somebody. I have never took this much of a stance for myself in a relationship with anybody. This is the first time I'm ever doing this. This is the first time I've ever been what I felt like I just fully gave myself to somebody and was just like, I'm going to be in love, bitch. I'm going to be in love. This is the first time I ever did that. And now this is the first time that I'm ever speaking up for myself like this. And in the very beginning of our relationship, I told her, I said, even if this relationship don't work out, something that I would love to take from you is your confidence and how you have no problem speaking up for yourself. I fucking love that shit about her. When something wasn't going right, oh baby, she was going to let you know. She wasn't letting nothing slide. I admired that shit about her. And I wanted that for myself. I just wanted that peace of mind for myself and being able to just stand up for myself and to get out of my people pleaser mentality. So now I'm having it, but I'm having it against the person who I learned it from. And bitch, you can't take it. So, after she called me from the company crying, hung up on her or whatever, then she started to email me some more. She sent me emails. She was talking about what is your choice? We need to talk to handle these things like adults. And then there was nothing. This is the top of 2019. Again, when she says, what is your choice? She's asking me, what do I choose to pick from the choices that she gave me? Keep in mind, she told me I have one of two choices, pay child support or relinquish my parental rights. I don't know how all this shit go. I've never been married before. I've never had to deal with a divorce because we also trying to tie in getting a divorce. We're trying to expedite the divorce. I don't know how this shit go. But one thing I did know was I didn't want her handling it because she handled every fucking thing in our relationship. And I was like, now I'm going to handle some shit. Like, okay, yeah, the divorce, we kind of got to communicate because we got to send paperwork to each other so it can get signed and all of that shit like that. But as it pertains to the child support and the relinquishing of rights, I need legal counsel to figure this shit out. I tried to get legal counsel in the state that we lived in at the time when this shit was going on in Georgia. They told me before we can even discuss anything, baby, they needed a $1,700 retainer. I did not have. So I stopped talking to that lawyer. I did not want to talk to her. And this is where I feel like I can kind of sort of say when she said the whole forcing her hand type of situation or handling this like an adult, I can kind of sort of say that this might have been a fault of mine, not at least communicating with her, hey, this is my choice and what I want to do. I'm trying to find legal counsel so I can get this shit done. I didn't say none of that shit to her. I didn't say nothing because at that point I was just done talking to her. I was like, if it don't have nothing to do with the situations at hand, I'm done talking to you. So she emailed me again and she asked me, what did she say? She said I had a whole bunch of mail. I had a whole bunch of ultrasound pictures, mail, family pictures, and shit like that she wanted to send to me. Can I have your address? I said, sure, but let me just check on something first. Of course, I'm saying sure, but I live with somebody else, my friend. So I was like, okay, let me ask my friend if it's okay to give out her address for her to send me whatever belongings I left at her house. Cool. This is now November. Yeah, getting into November, going into December. I never really noticed that as time is going on, I'm not receiving any of the shit that she said I was supposed to be receiving from her. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. January rolls around. I decide I'm moving. I'm moving out of my friend's house. I don't want to overstay my welcome. I'm thankful for her letting me stay with my child and opening up an extra room for us. I was, trying to give them a little money on rent and everything or whatever. But I was just like, I need to be somewhere where I'm around people who really know me and who really love me and can help me with this situation. I'm going home. I packed all my shit up, me and my daughter shit up, and I hightailed it out of Georgia. Okay. Now, I get to Louisiana. No communication all January. No communication. My daughter's birthday is in February. I'm still trying to figure out things as it pertains to this divorce and as it pertains to relinquishing my rights, because I realize I don't make a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money to just be given out to you just because. So what works for me and is in the best interest, what I felt like was in the best interest for myself as well as for her son, because I'm not thinking about her, thinking about the baby. What was in the best interest for me and her son was if I just relinquish my rights. I don't want to take him from her. I don't want to have custody or anything like that. I don't, she already told me that she don't want me to have nothing to do with him anyway, and that they're going to be fine. So let me just go ahead and relinquish my rights. And like she said in the text messages, you live your life, you go on about your way, I go on about my way, and we ain't got to talk to each other no more. That was the best choice for me. I just don't know where to start. Talking to my mom, she found something where this thing came up that said, if you want to get a divorce, all the cost is $300. So I was like, shit, that's good. I ain't got a lot of money. I'm not getting a lot of money, but baby, I can scrounge up $300 to get this shit done. So I go and talk to this person. And the person, I explained to them the situation a little bit of what I needed to do. And she was like, okay, well, we can do all that. I can go ahead and do the divorce paperwork or whatever. And I can draw up the petition to disavow. Because at that point, I believe he had turned 1. But I had so much time left that I could do the petition to disavow. I couldn't do just relinquishing my rights. That's what I had to do. So I was like, okay, cool. So she was like, I'm going to draw this paperwork up for you. We're going to have a meeting. We're going to come back. I'm going to let you read everything. You sign off on it. If everything is good, take it to the court, get it notarized, all that good stuff. Take it to the court system. Let them do what they do. And then you send out the forms and get signatures and then y'all good. Shit, that's cool for me. $300, bitch, give it to me. Give me 2 of them bitches. Put them in the bag. So I'm trying to figure this shit out. Come up with money. Take care of my child. Take care of myself, because at this point I have gone into a dark place because I just can't believe the shit that's going on. I never saw this coming from this person. So I'm just like, I'm proud of myself for the things that I have done, but I'm scared of what my future looks like because this is so brand new for me. So I'm trying to take care of myself while taking care of all this different shit, and it's just not working. But I knew for a fact it really wasn't going to work if I communicated with her. Could I have said something to her as far as my plans and what I was doing? Absolutely. I could have, but I didn't want to. I didn't feel like talking to her ass. So February comes. She sends me an email. I hope this email finds you well. I would really love to send your daughter something for her birthday. Me and my son miss and love her so much. Send me your address so I can send you something for her birthday. I've seen the shit. And immediately I said no. Hell no. Didn't even respond to that motherfucker. The reason why I said no was because of this, y'all. Remember when she told me she had mail, pictures, and all of this shit for me that she wanted to send to my friend's house? When I moved, my mail got forwarded. When my mail got forwarded, I received a piece of mail where she attempted to try to put me on child support in the state of Georgia. She had already went to people. She had already talked to people. She had already filed shit. And I basically was receiving kind of what you would consider to be, I guess, like a mediation letter. A lady telling me such and such came in my office trying to do this. You need to call me so that we can talk about how we can get this handled. I was like, what the fuck? Because bitch, you told me I had a choice. I ain't had this fucking choice very long. But because I'm not responding to you, and because I'm not responding to you as fast as you would like for me to respond to you, I guess now I'm forcing your hand, huh? I'm forcing you to do this, even though you gave me a choice. And as adults, it's proper to handle things like an adult by giving somebody fucking time. But it is what it is. So that was the reason why I did not give her my address moving forward, because I said, no, she's trying to circumvent the system and take my choice away from me. So I was like, no. And then she emailed me immediately after she emailed me the shit about my daughter, about her birthday. Oh, no. Bitch, let me take it back. The day of my daughter's birthday, she emailed me this long ass fucking message that was just dogging me the fuck out, talking all kind of trash shit about me. Then after that message, she immediately sent me another message about 2 minutes later with the shit about my daughter. Oh, we miss her and love her so much and we want to send her something. Can you send me your address? Bitch, get the fuck out of here. So I'm pissed. I'm stressed because it's my child's birthday and I got to deal with this shit on her birthday. I'm pissed off. Then she sent me another fucking message after that saying, oh, and by the way, we know that you're in Louisiana now. Bitch, I don't give a fuck. You got a private investigator? I don't give a shit. If you know so much, then send me some mail. You can't, because you don't know my fucking address. That's why you're fishing. You're trying to use my child as a way to get my address. Now, when she did the shit with my daughter with throwing the little bite, whatever. It is what it is. When she's sitting there using her child for sympathy for herself, it is what the fuck it is. Whatever. Now, bitch, you using my child to try to get my address. I got a fucking problem with that. And at that point, I really was like, I don't want to communicate with this bitch at all. Once I finish this shit, as far as the paperwork goes, I will email her and let her fucking know, hey, this is what I've done and this is coming in the mail. So, let me see. Okay, so yes. In 2019, I began to disavow and divorce paperwork. I did not communicate any of what I was doing. Like I said, I should have done that. I could have done that, but I was through. I sent the paperwork out to her. I let her know it was coming. I sent the paperwork out to her, and then she emails me about her disgust for the wording of the relinquishing of my right paperwork. Now, when I went to go back to read the paperwork to sign off on it, I read everything in its entirety. In the petition to disavow paperwork, the paperwork that I had no fucking part in putting the words together, there was a line in there that said, I disown the child. I'm giving up my rights and I disown the child. Now, when I read that line, I asked the lady who typed up the paperwork, I was like, I'm not disowning him. I just don't want to be responsible. I'm just giving up my rights. And she's like, oh, well, that's just lawyer jargon. That's court jargon. You know, that this is just the paperwork. That it doesn't mean anything. I mean, of course, you probably don't feel like that, but this is just the way the paperwork is worded. I don't know fucking law. I'm thinking this shit is right. I don't know. So I was like, okay, cool. But even with me reading that and finding an issue with that part, I knew she was going to find an issue with that part. But it was what it was. The divorce paperwork was done. The disavow paperwork was done. I told her I was sending it. I told her around the time she would be getting it, all she needed to do was sign it and send it back. She gets the paperwork. She signs the divorce paperwork, of course. She gets the petition to disavow paperwork. She reads it. She sends me a fucking email. So now you disown him. I can't believe you're treating my son like this. Is when she started doing that, my son, because she liked to use the words my son and our son when and where it sees fit. So at this point now she's like, my son, my son, my son. I can't believe you put that in there. I can't believe you treating him like this. We supposed to been creating him out of love and all this extra shit like that or whatever. Now with the paperwork, inside the paperwork, because this is a minor and this is kind of like I'm just relinquishing my rights, almost like I'm taking him to court in a sense. In the paperwork, it said that if she wanted legal counsel for him, she could ask for legal counsel for him. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like it did say something in there to where if she wanted legal counsel for him, I was responsible for paying that because I started the initial court paperwork. So I want to say that that's what that did say in there because that's what she brought up. I remember her saying that in one of the emails where it says in the email, it said something about in this paperwork, it says that he can get a lawyer and I want him to have a lawyer. And I was like, oh shit. Okay, whatever. Cool. So She signs the divorce papers, ignores the disavowal paperwork, because she's still at this point in time still trying to figure out my address to put me on child support. Plus, she's using the I don't like the words to give her some more time, right? So she sent back what she sent back, which was divorce paperwork and stuff. There was another, I think, with the disavow shit, I ended up having to send her something else. Now, as I'm sending her all this information through the courts, right? Or through the mail system, every single time I send her paperwork, I take a black marker and I take out my address. I didn't want her to have my address. The one fucking time I did not take out my address, she got my address from there. It was on one of the documents, either dealing with the divorce. I can't say it was the petition to disavow. I can't say it was that paperwork because once she sent stuff back, it was like, okay, I needed to do more work on my end to get him a lawyer or whatever. And I was trying to figure that shit out. So in the midst of me trying to figure that out and sending her that paperwork that one fucking piece of paper that I forgot to take my address off of, she got my address. She put me on child support. Within a month, what was it? A month? Okay, yes. So December. This is now December 2019. December in 2019, I got back my paperwork saying that I was officially divorced. Bitch, I'm jumping for joy. I'm lighting candles. I'm sipping wine. I'm smoking blunts. I'm doing it all because I'm happy. I'm free of this hoe. In the same month, a sheriff comes knocking on my door. Why? Because he is serving me paperwork that says I am now being put on child support. I need to be in court at this time, at this place. So you gave me a choice. I made my choice. I sent you the paperwork so that all you had to do was sign it to solidify my choice. You found a loophole and you took it. Why? Not because you need the money, not because you and your son struggling and you can't survive without it. You did this shit because I didn't want to be with you no more. And you wasn't in control of the situation. Not because I was an ain't shit parent. According to you, you claim I was an ain't shit parent, even though I only been in the baby life for like a year. But I was just an ain't shit parent, even though I done bought toys, I done bought clothes, I done bought gifts, I done took care of you out working. I'm watching the baby. I'm doing it all, but I ain't an ain't shit. I'm an ain't shit parent. I'm so ain't shit that I got to be put on child support. She treat me like a ain't shit baby daddy. Okay, bitch. So moving on from there. So now we're going to catch up to, I don't want to show this because this is pictures, because she was trying to get me. Like in the beginning of in January 2019, she was trying to bait me again, trying to make me feel bad. She was sending me pictures of me and the baby. So she sent me 2 pictures. And then let's see, when is this? This is, okay, so this email that I sent to her was on December 11th, 2019. This is the paperwork that I'm sending to her. The divorce was pretty much in its final stage. I'm going to just read it. Let me just read this bitch. Okay, so I say, I hope this email finds you well. I am touching bases with you to let you know that the divorce is in its final stages. The court has instructed me that I am to send you your copy via certified mail. The day that I mail it off, I will send you an email of its arrival. I made a moral and conscious decision to throw out the petition to disavow. I was not pleased at how it was worded. However, because monies had been spent through the court system, I was legally required to mail the paperwork to you regardless of my plans. Now, I did make the decision to throw it out, but honestly, I only really made that decision to throw it out was because I had been served with paperwork. My divorce paperwork came at the end of December. It came after this bullshit. That's when I got my divorce paperwork. So my divorce was finalized in December of 2019, but I didn't get it till after this shit. That's right. So yeah, I got served paperwork, and I was just like, once I found out there was nothing I could do, I just went ahead and canceled it, because I'm like, I'm not going to continuously spend more money to send you this paperwork or spend money to get a lawyer when you've already put it in the system that you want child support. I'm just not going to do that. I ain't got money loan like that. You do, but I don't. So then I said, my only purpose with that petition was to relinquish my rights, as you had asked in previous communication through text, not to disown my child or act as if he doesn't exist. I'm woman enough to apologize to you for any and all ways that made you feel in even having to read that, because I felt like it was going to be hard to read. Regardless of what has transpired between us, your son was conceived from pure love and understanding between two souls, and that will never change. I received your subpoena for child support, and I do not contest. However, I do not understand why you would feel the need to take it that far. It is confusing because of in-person communication with you, where you stated that if I was just going to be in and out whenever I choose, that you have the right as his birth mother to decide for him whether or not I could see him or be around him. It also causes further confusion because even after that statement was made in text conversations with you, I stated that if there was anything you needed to just let me know, which was met with the response of you saying not to worry and that he would be well taken care of. And I still felt compelled to send you money for formula that you said you needed at the time. Because of the love I have for him and his overall well-being, as well as the fact that my name is on his birth certificate as his legal parent, I will be pushing for 50-50 custody and visitation. I will also request that it be put in writing that we meet halfway for all exchanges, holidays, summers, and 2 full weeks a month until he reaches school age. We can settle this outside of court in the event you are willing to accept my offer. Being that my name is on his birth certificate, I am legally allowed to continue receiving benefits for him through military benefits. However, I am willing to hand over all monies I receive for him to you via Cash App or MoneyGram. You are not allowed to ask me for an increase of any kind, as I am agreeing to forfeit over what the government gives me in regards to him. Payments will not be backdated, and they will cease after November 2nd, 2035, which is when he turns 18. In this agreement, I am willing to relinquish my rights only because of prior communication with you, where I was asked by you to either pay support or relinquish. I give you my word that I will not try to pursue my custody and visitation rights unless in the event you decide to bring the courts back into this. If you can agree to these terms, I will have my attorney draw up the paperwork and make it official and let you know when to expect your copy. It will be in your best interest to accept my offer or be prepared to split custody. This agreement is time sensitive. If I do not hear back from you within 2 weeks to the date of this email, I will assume that you want to go forth with the court proceedings that you have already put in place. Respectfully, me. P.S. After all is said and done, and regardless of what is in this agreement, I am willing to be a part of his life only if you allow me to be. So basically what I was saying, because I already received this information about me having to go to court for child support, I kind of tried to use a little bit of a scare tactic. I tried to say, because I knew for a fact she did not want me to have her son. I knew for a fact she did not want me to have him by myself. She didn't want me to be around him, because that's what she said. She said it on multiple times, bitch. I knew she didn't want that. So I tried to use the scare tactic and say like, hey, we can handle this outside of courts. And I'm saying outside of courts because we both got to pay money. So let's not pay any more money. Let's not keep wasting money. We can handle this outside of courts. We can draw up some paperwork that says, I will give you the money that I receive for him from the government every single month. I will hand that over to you. I will also sign paperwork to give up my rights. All you got to do is just agree to that. If you agree to that, we cool. I will never come to you about nothing. But in the event that you decide you want to go for child support, because you already told me to just give up my rights and you're going around the shit, if you want to push for this, then this is what I'm going to push for. And I know this is shit that you don't really want, but I'm going to push for it anyway. That's what I said, child. I have since, what was that? I have since now, that was in 2019, December 11th, 2019. At this point, I didn't like block this email. Well, no, after this email, I blocked her. So I touched bases with her again in January of 2020. And I said, I'm touching bases to let you know that your copy was sent out to the wrong address. You can either pick it up yourself from the post office in Lillington, or wait for it to be returned to me and I can resend it to you. The only other time that I will be sending out another email is in the event that your letter is returned to me. I will then send out a courtesy email to let you know when you should receive it. Respectfully, me. And the only reason why I'm so cut and dry with her at this point and not saying no extra shit is because by now she has messaged me back about what I said to her, and she's just like, she don't care because she's done what she wanted to do, which was try to put me on child support. At this point, she has the upper hand. And she's okay with having the upper hand. She doesn't want to negotiate anything. Now she's like, oh, now you want to negotiate. And I'm like, no, bitch, I'm just trying to do what the fuck you said in the beginning. I'm not trying to negotiate anything. But anywho, so that was in 2020. Again, I blocked her from emailing me. Once all this shit was like kind of said and done, I really just blocked her because I was like, I don't have no reason to communicate with you anymore. From this point forward, we go to court. At the time, you know, that little virus was going around in the world. It was making shit hard. Court kept getting pushed back. Court got pushed back for an entire year. So when we finally did go into court or whatever, the lawyer that I had, I could not get in contact with the lawyer that I had. I guess he was just displaced or whatever happened. Something happened with his family and I could not get in contact with him no more. So I did not have a lawyer. I did not have enough time to get another lawyer because I didn't have money to pay for a lawyer. The lawyer that I was working with, he was helping me out because I was helping him out. I was working for him and he was like, I will help you with this case. I had a job in a sense. But again, once the virus came and people, they started doing all this, you need to go home and stay in your house type of situation, I lost that job. And then I lost contact with that guy. No way to get no other lawyer, no money, right? So now I done already went through court. She has said that she wants to go forward with this whole child support thing. I told them how much I made. She was like, cool, I'll take that. They realized that I made like way less money than her. But there was nothing they could do because it's still legally, I gotta be put in the court system for something. Oh, bitch, she was leaving with something. So I had to be put on there for something. They told her how much she would be getting, and here was the kicker. Now we in court. I'm in the courtroom. She's on the phone. They got her on the phone, speakerphone. So she tries to bring up the fact that she was in school. I'm in school, and I've spent money on books and school courses and stuff like that, and it's hard for me to take care of my son. I said, hold up. I raised my hand. I said, can you over there? Come over here. Come talk to me. I let them know because the way she was making it seem like she's just paying for school and all of this extra shit. And the lady was like, well, school is really just kind of like your own personal thing. If you want to go to school, that's you going to school. That has really nothing to do with this child support thing. So we can't reimburse you for you going to school and paying money for it. But I let them know. I said, we are veterans. We are military veterans. Even if we come out of pocket and spend money on school, they will send us a check back for the amount of money that we went out of pocket on. So her trying to sit here and say that she's spending money out of pocket and she ain't got no money to take care of her son is a fucking lie. Because she's going to get that money back. Be it a month, 2 months, I don't give a fuck. She's going to get that money back. So don't let her try to play in y'all face. And that was when the judge was just like, yeah, school is kind of like a thing that she's like, I can see if you were saying like daycare or something like that, but this is just school. That's a you thing. That's not this. So she couldn't get nothing for that. Once it was all said and done, they asked her, they said, okay, she's on child support now. Now, as the parental, as the parent in charge, you have the ability to say child support starts from this date moving forward, or you have the ability to backdate child support a year. And now you can put her in arrears. She chose to put me in arrears by a year, which in all honesty, she wanted more than that because on the phone she said, well, actually we separated in September of 2018. Now, mind you, we in court. This is now 2020. I believe this is 2020 when it got solidified. Yes, this is 2020. We in court or whatever. And she was just like, I want to take it back all the way to September of 2018 because that's when we separated. And they're like, ma'am, we can only backdate this for a year. And has nothing to do with separation. This has to do with child support. So we can only backdate it a year from the date that, you really kind of like originally started this when the petition went in. We can only go back a year. Oh, well, that's fine. I'll just take the year then. Bitch, she was trying to really put me in some shit. But she put me in enough shit and it was what it was. So moving forward, I'm going through life. I'm trying to take care of what I can take care of. I'm told that I have to give up basically my entire check to her. Um, and I'm just like, how the hell am I going to do this? I wanted to get a job, but I was so defeated. I felt like I finally stood up for myself, and this is what I get for standing up for myself. If this is what I get, then what was the fucking point of me doing it? So I felt really defeated. I was really depressed. I wanted to stay in the dark. I cried every single day. It was hard for me to get out to do stuff with my child. I was going through stuff also with my family, moving back home. It was just a lot. But once I finally got myself together and started to pull myself out of that dark space, I got my credit together as best as I could, and I was like, okay, I'm in the arrears. I haven't been really paying too much on it. The arrears are getting higher. At this point, I'm at like, I had $3,000 worth of arrears because she put me back a year. That was already a grip. Then you got to think about the interest tacked on, and by the time I was ready to take care of it, I was like $3,000 in the hole. I got a loan. I ended up getting a loan that I'm still paying off right now. And I went ahead and paid off all the arrears. And then I couldn't catch myself up with the way that it works through the system. I couldn't like pay up. So whatever money I had left, I used it to just continuously pay on that and then pay the bills that I had and maintain what I had going on for me and my child. Things were starting to look better for me. Things were starting to look up for me. I ended up meeting somebody. I ended up having my first child with that person. Then things started to get a little rocky. And within that time, my finances got all out of whack. And I was just like, okay, I'm about to get myself back in the hole. I stopped paying child support only because I felt like that was just money going to somebody whose only reason for getting it was spite. So I don't feel like paying this person. I feel like this money is better used to go in my household to take care of myself and my 2 kids. So that's what I did. So in 2023, I had been paying in 2023. I was already caught up. I was paying on time. And then come summertime, when she hit me up? Yes, this is June of 2023. I did not make a payment. I stopped making payments in like March, I think, of that year, or April. It was like, I think my last payment was like March. So I didn't make a payment for April. I didn't make a payment for May, and I hadn't made a payment for June. Guess who emails me from a whole brand new email, bitch, because the first one is blocked. So she emails me and she says, let's see. Good morning. Pray this message finds you well. I've noticed he hasn't had anything on his card for a couple months. He needs new items for school in August, and he is now actively playing sports. This money helps with things like this, along with having his saving bank. She sent me that message, and then she sent me a screenshot of, I guess, whatever she can see in her computer or whatever, that's saying, it just basically just tells you how much I'm supposed to pay her a month. And let's see. It says the past due amount that I hadn't given her, the arrears amount that I'm supposed to pay her on top of the amount I'm supposed to pay her per month. And she sends me a screenshot of that showing that I was behind by $365. $1 for every day of the year, child. That's right. I said it right. Every day of the year. So she sends me that. And I'm just like, oh my God. Now, mind you, again, I've only stopped paying her for 3 months. It's only been 3 months. So she hits me up. I said to her, hello, all very understandable. I had a small hiccup in life. I will have things running smoothly here again by August for sure. I will definitely be sure to at least send no less than $50 when I get paid. So you'll get something instead of zero. Thanks for reaching out. Me. That's it. Because at the time, that was all I could really do. 2023, June of 2023, where am I at this point? I have now had my second child. because she came in January. Yes, I have now had my second child, and I'm just like, I cannot. This is hard. I cannot, like, I'm trying to do this, but this is hard. This is a lot on me. We're having 3 kids now and trying to take care of this. And yes, I got my partner that I'm with, but just me taking care of what I need to take care of. This is hard. So yeah, did that. And then what is this from? Is this the brand new? Is this the new? Yeah. Okay. So after that, I sent her that money. My intentions were to continuously pay her on a monthly basis. That really was my intentions, because I had some shit lined up as far as, like, I think a job or something that I was going for that looked really well. It looked like I was going to get it. And even though I really didn't want a job, because I was like, all they're going to do is just take the money that I'm having from this job and they're going to give it to her. I really didn't want a job for that reason. Plus, I also didn't want a job because I was like, if they're dipping out of my money in order to give to her, how am I going to keep my kids in daycare? How am I going to pay for daycare for 2 children, as well as them dipping in my check? I know this check ain't going to look that fucking nice for them to do that. Plus, I have arrears, so they're going to dip it in a little bit extra. So I was just like, I really want to get this job, but then at the same time, I didn't want to get the job, but I applied anyway. End up not getting the fucking job. They found somebody better than my ass. So that messed me up. So I could not pay. So I ended up going an entire year without paying her. Not because I don't want to handle my responsibilities, but because I have a lot of shit on my plate. Also, within that year, after she sent me that email, I ended up finding out the situation with my ex-fiance, how he was trying to diddle kids. So I was going through that situation and going through the court system with that situation and trying to navigate all those emotions going with that, because I'm like, shit, I'm dealing with this. Now I'm dealing with the fact that the person I just had 2 kids with is out here diddling with kids. Like, what the fuck? So I'm dealing with all of that, trying to take care of all of the household after I didn't put him in jail, trying to take care of all of the household, everything, trying to make up for what he was bringing into the household. It was a lot. I had ended up getting my credit fixed again to where I could get a car, because my car had ended up getting rear-ended, and the person who rear-ended me fucked my car up, gave my car the most botched BBL ever. But I was still able to drive it. I drove my car for like a year and a half. That person didn't have insurance, so they could not do anything for me as far as getting my car fixed. Thankfully, my car was working. I drove it for a year and a half. I fixed my credit enough to where I was able to get me another car. In the midst of all of that, still dealing with life, still dealing with what the fuck I'm trying to deal with, she hits me up again. She hits me up and she tells me that I hadn't sent her anything, and she was pretty much going to go through the court system. So she went back through the system. The people got in touch with me and was like, we just need to know when you're going to start paying. So it's kind of like an intent to pay. You need to start paying a little bit more because your arrears are at this point, and we just need you to start doing it. The dude told me he was going to call me back the following week. Baby, he didn't call me back, and I didn't bother his ass either. So from that point moving forward, I didn't send no money because I'm trying to take care of my shit. So this year, before Thanksgivings, okay? Guess who emails me? Now, these series of emails has me understanding that I really can't talk to this person. There is no reasoning with this person. There is no getting this person to see their wrong and what they did in this situation. There's none of that shit. I felt dumb. At the end of this, I started to feel dumb talking to her. I was like, if I'm starting to feel dumb, bitch, I need to stop talking to you, because this is not right. I'm explaining shit to you, and you in the emails acting like you don't see what I said, and you completely skipping over that shit and not answering it. And you're also contradicting yourself in your emails, saying shit. But let's get into the emails from this year, and then we'll be done, baby. We'll wrap this thing up. We've been here for 2 hours. So this is what she starts with. November 25th, 2024. Hope all is well. Coming to you from a humble place and space. I'd like to speak with you about child support and getting it handled and removed. Do you have copies of our divorce papers? Thanks. Now, initially when I saw this, when I seen the words handled and removed, I wanted to be excited, but I didn't know how to feel, because I know who this person is. I know how this person acts. I know what this person is capable of. So I was like, before I show any emotions to it, let me just calm down and try to think about what this could be about, figure out my response, and then we'll move on. I seen handled and removed. So in my mind, I'm thinking you want me to possibly, and you're asking for divorce paperwork. You want me to possibly handle my arrears amount, and then you want to take me off of child support, because who the fuck used the word removed for nothing other than removing some shit, right? So let me see. Where is it where okay. So I responded to her. I took a day. She hit me up on the 25th. I hit her up on the 26th. I took a day. I said, hello, I have my copy. Just going to take me a minute to put my hands on it. What would you like to discuss? Things have been extremely tight now that I have 3 girls. My intentions are always to take care of what I'm supposed to. Things have just been rough. That all may be irrelevant to you, but just wanted to give some type of explanation as to why you haven't been receiving anything. Here to stick to what matters to you, though. Me. That's what I said to her. I don't feel like that was disrespectful. She said she wanted to talk about child support from way back when. We don't have each other's phone number. So, of course, me asking her, what do you want to discuss? Like, okay, let's talk about it. What do you want to talk about? We talk through email. We don't phone talk. She sent me, was it 3 or 4 emails? 1, 2, 3. She sent me 4 emails back to back to back to back before I can even respond. All I sent was that one response. Her response to what I said was, we're big age at this point in life, and our children don't need to suffer at the hands of our negligence. I want to discuss your arrears and how we can resolve that outside the courts. He needs to, but he doesn't need anything. He doesn't need for anything from you since he hasn't received anything. She gave me her phone number. Number is the same. I don't know this fucking number because that's not the number that I got on them papers, them text message papers. I don't know that number. Hit me when you are ready to speak like adults on this matter. Best. Now, initially I wasn't going to respond to her email at all, but something in me said no, because that's what she wants. She wants you to not say nothing so she can go do court shit. Maybe, just maybe, some fucking years have passed. Maybe this bitch is different in the way that she thinks and works and do shit. So maybe I can open up a little bit, not give her too much of the situation that I'm going through, but at least let her know, hey, I moved on. I have more children now. I'm not saying that this is an excuse for me not paying you. This is a legitimate reason as to why you're not getting any money. And then I just threw in there, of course, things are rough right now because I'm still navigating all the shit that I'm going through. Bitch, I was just homeless. I got evicted during this situation. Like, I couldn't handle my bills. I got evicted. So shit was rough for me for a hot minute. Thankfully, now I'm in a space, but again, I'm going through shit, and here you come. Here your begging ass come. So I'm thinking some act right has seeped into her body, but it has not. So she says that. Then she says, oh yeah. What always mattered to me was you acknowledging my son. You never did that in my eyes. So this is why I'm reaching out today to see if your heart has opened. Then she says, and I would like to know how your daughter is doing. You have 2 more children now and neglected the fact you had a son all this time. And what did she say? Did I put that out? Okay, yeah, I did print that out. And her last message was, and I mentioned in my email what I'd like to discuss. If we can't, I'll let the courts handle it. Now, again, I don't want to talk on the phone with her. I don't have nothing to say to her. I don't feel like she deserves to hear my beautiful voice anymore. And I definitely don't deserve to hear her wretched shit. So, of course, we've always been communicating through email. So why would you think I want to talk to you? There's nothing that I said in my one response that said I didn't want to handle this with you. There's nothing that I said in this one response would make it seem like I'm not trying to handle this like an adult. You're still bitter. You know you did this shit for no reason. And here you go with your rah-rah bullshit. Let's keep going. So I responded to her. She responded on the 26th. Yeah, she responded on the 26th with all them emails, right? I waited till Black Friday to email her back. I took some time. I talked to my mom about it. We discussed, maybe what I should say because we understand the person that I'm dealing with. And I said, okay, Here's my response. I said, I know that if I send a whole bunch of shit, she gonna act like she don't see that shit because she did that before. I'm not reading all of that. You know what you did. Bitch, you read it. But I was like, if I give her bullet points, because she's a military brat, if I give her bullet points, she should understand that because we know that shit. We dealt with that a lot. So I emailed her back and I said, okay, adult communication, number 1. Now that I've had time to process your messages, I realize a phone conversation is not necessary. Not sure what I have said in one response that has said I don't want this handled, but okay. Maybe it's because I've not responded as fast as you'd like due to me processing your words to give an adult response. Number 2, arrears handled and removed. As far as discussing arrears getting handled and removed, can you please go in depth about what you obviously have in mind? Are you suggesting/saying that I pay/negotiate arrears to drop the child support completely? Because that's what remove sound like to me. And how are we going to handle arrears outside of court if it's through the court system? I can't just hand you over the money and be cool, because guess what you're going to do? I never received a dime. She still owes me arrearage. We can't handle that shit outside of court. There's no way for us to really do that. Other than us just having this conversation and handling this as far as when am I going to pay her, we can handle that outside of court. And if I don't respond, then I guess she would feel that her hand would be forced again. But okay. Number 3, acknowledgement. Lastly, if acknowledging your son has always been so important to you, why do all communication you send always lead with money, then a threat, and his well-being last? You gave me an ultimatum, child support or relinquish my rights. I made my choice. You didn't like it and decided to choose what you wanted instead, and now we're here. Now you're upset that I'm not upholding a standard that I didn't even want for him or myself, but one that you wanted for you. So should I fake it for him instead? Is that what's best for him? Or should I fake it for you? Because memory serves me correctly, bitch. You didn't want me to have nothing to do with your son. Now I will say this. After she did the whole child support shit, and I wholeheartedly, I know that I'm right with this shit. She put in the paperwork that I had visitation rights. Not necessarily custody in a sense, but just I had rights to visit him, see him, pick him up, take him places and shit like that. She put that in there. I feel like the only reason why she put that in there was to try to make it seem like I never said that she couldn't see you. I never said that she couldn't be in your life. I clearly gave her the opportunity and put it in the paperwork that she could be in your life, and she still didn't want to see you. But you told me way back when, before, that your son was going to be fine. He didn't need shit from me. And that if I was choosing to be in his life like this, being that you're his parent and you can talk for him, you can choose who gets to be in his life. And because of my movement, I don't deserve to be in his life. Moving on. So I sent that to her. She responded with this. Adult communication. I agree. We do not have to talk, but we definitely need to communicate on where things are now. Child support order and arrears response. No, I don't want to remove the order completely. When do you plan on getting caught up or making a payment? Arrears. Excuse me. If you have not been able to pay due to things being tight for all this time, nothing to do with my son. I'm sure you would like things to be removed, but I'm asking how you can pay on your arrears to avoid a bigger debt. It's up to the courts, but it can be revisited. You don't have to fake anything. You have been in character for some time. My child will always be important. No, I'm sorry. That's not the part she had. She didn't capitalize always. She capitalized important. My child will always be important to me, and it shows he has never been for you. So let's not throw shade. Let's call it what it is. Best. So I took some time to read that shit and digest that shit. And my thing is this. Why all of this could have really been avoided this year. This communication could have been avoided if she would have initially started her communication with, when are you going to pay on your arrears, or when are you going to start paying child support? That was literally all she had to ask. Her continuously going in with this extra shit about how I don't acknowledge him, how I don't care about him because I told her I got 3 kids now. That's just her in her feelings and just wanting to say some shit because she's still feeling hurt about the situation. She wants to believe that she's moved on, but she's still fucking hurt about this situation. So her bringing that shit up was just like dumb. I was like, I don't even whatever. And then you trying to bring it up, making it seem like you care about my debt. You need to pay on your arrears to avoid a bigger debt. Bitch, you don't care about me being in debt. It ain't got shit to do with you. It ain't gonna hurt you if I'm in debt. But you love to throw the courts in there. If we can't do it, then the courts can do it. Okay, whatever. So I took some more time. Oh, my baby is awake. I gotta hurry up, go get my baby. I'm coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. You want me to come get you right now? Okay. So I do have to get, I'm pretty sure she's up from her. Okay, let me go get my baby. Let me go get my baby real quick. I'll be right back. I only got a little bit left. I only got like 2 pages. I promise. You had a good nap, boo-boo? You was hiding, baby? Yeah. Oh. Peekaboo. Peekaboo. Hiding. You hiding? How you hiding behind them scissors? Them little places. Anywho, all right, let's keep it going. And I got to keep it clean a little bit now because my baby in here, but you feel me. So I responded and I said, starting this month, I'm going to pay you $50 on the due date. Yes. Mommy got to finish reading. Can you be quiet a little bit so mommy can finish? No. No? Okay. All right. We're going to try to do this the best that we can. Yeah, that baby's sleeping. You see that baby? Go give that baby a hug. Go give that baby a hug. She's talking about the little cat. Starting this month, I'm going to pay $50 on the due date. And beginning in January, I will start paying the full monthly amount. I fully understand that this will not do anything to the arrears, but it does stop the debt from growing. If I can borrow anything extra from anywhere, the monthly amount will reflect so that I can start chipping away at the arrears amount. Also, I never... Give her a hug. Give her a hug. I never said he wasn't important to you. I simply asked the question I did because if me not acknowledging him all this time has bothered you, you never started with that or any updates on him. It's always money or information about money first. You get an answer that you can deal with. Then you throw in anything about him second to last, if not last. If the money isn't the main focus, I really couldn't tell. It's kind of in the same boat as how you choose to say our son or my son, when and where it seems to fit. But I could be wrong in my observations. Yeah, clean her nose. If I truly didn't care, I would have never signed his birth certificate. That was a choice, not somebody making a decision for me, like the child support. Yeah, clean her boogies. But hey, like you said, I've been in character for some time now. Maybe that was when I chose my final form. I also fully understand that it really doesn't matter what choice I make in this matter, because if you want to go to the courts, you won't hesitate to circumvent my choices. My name. And that's what I said. You got it? You got the snot? You got to be quiet because she's sleeping. Keep it down. Whisper. You got to whisper. You got to whisper. Clean her nose. So after I sent that, her last response, and I believe that is the last, yes. So her response to me was, okay, only thing we have to talk about is your obligation to pay and what it looks like. Thanks for your intent to pay. I don't have to circumvent anything. You have the obligation to pay since you made the decision to sign his birth certificate. No one made you, remember? So the courts are holding you accountable since you chose to be a parent. If you didn't want courts to ever get involved, y'all listen to this shit. Listen to this shit. If you didn't want courts to ever get involved, you should have communicated like an adult and talked to me and did right by him. You took food out of his mouth, and to act as if you had a proper justification for leaving him is beyond me. We're good and happy with our lives at this point. I know. He has no knowledge of who you are. And if he knew the truth, I wouldn't want to know you either. You have no relationship with him in any way aside the fact your name is on the birth certificate. You still have failed to simply ask or acknowledge him. And when I have ever asked of your daughter, you neglect to give a response. My response to that was simply, okay. Got it. Go throw it in the trash. I said, okay. Because at that point, when she responded with what she responded with, I realized that I am talking to a brick wall and I need to stop. Because now I'm starting to feel dumb. Now it's like you're trying to make me feel dumb and I know I'm not dumb. So let's break apart her last message that she sent. And then I'm going to be done with this because, baby, I got to get off here. I got to take care of my child. So I don't have to circumvent anything. I see it in your nose. I don't have to circumvent anything. You have the obligation to pay since you made the decision to sign his birth certificate. No, don't clean her nose. You saying that you don't have to circumvent. Okay, go ahead and clean her nose. Go ahead. Go ahead. You taking it upon yourself to say that you don't have to circumvent anything. Isn't that what you did in order to put me on child support? Did I not send you divorce paperwork and petition to disavow paperwork at the same time for you to sign it and send it back? And you waited until you got my address to send me child support paperwork when the petition to disavow paperwork wasn't even done. We had concluded. I was in the process of getting him a lawyer or trying to figure out how to get him a lawyer like you said. But you didn't circumvent the system. You didn't circumvent anything. You didn't go around nothing. No one made you, remember, in regards to signing his birth certificate. I literally said in my email, what did I say? I want to say it verbatim. If I truly didn't care, I would have never signed his birth certificate. That was a choice, not somebody making a decision for me. Again, you reiterating, no one made you decide, made you sign it, remember? Yes, I remember. It was a choice, just like the choice you gave me. I had a choice in that room and I had plenty of reasons not to sign that birth certificate. But in my mind, I thought that our relationship was going to get better. I thought that we were going to go to counseling. I thought that we were going to work on ourselves individually in order to work on this family unit. That's what I thought was going to happen. So Doug, no, nobody made me sign. I want to say something about babysitting right there. No, nobody made me sign. Why are you reiterating that? You sound dumb. You sound really dumb. But okay. So the courts are holding you accountable since you chose to be a parent. Before I say what I'm about to say, let me read some more. If you didn't want courts to ever get involved, you should have communicated like an adult and talked to me and did right by him. If I didn't ever want courts to get involved, I should have communicated like I did. And I should have done right by your son. Yeah, throw it in trash. Put it in trash. I should have done right by your son, which I felt I was doing as an adult. I want one. You want one? Can you go get it? The thing that perturbs me, that I'm like, and her contradicted her, perturbs me with this, is the fact that you keep trying to make it seem like the courts got involved because somebody was sitting at a table spinning the wheel and was like, who we gonna put on child support today? All these people got to be on child support. Stop. Let's put her on child support. Why are you emailing me, making it seem like the only reason why I'm on child support is because the courts just randomly picked this shit up? There you go. There you go. The only reason why we going through the courts is because, one, we had to get a divorce. The only reason why we going through the courts for this situation is because you did this. Let me help you. Give it here. Thank you. Let me help you, babe. You did this. You are the reason why we're doing this. Again, there is no court system that I know of that, because the one parent left and they no longer involved and they no longer taking care. Hold on, baby. Let me open it. You know I like to spit at you. They no longer taking care of and don't want to be involved. I have never in my life heard the court system saying, well, let's just go find them. Let's just go after them and figure out where they are so we can put them on child support, because that mother over there, she deserves She deserves that. I ain't never heard that in my life. So by her trying to insinuate that the reason why we're going through what we're going through, even though I put in my message, we're going through what we're going through because of you. You did all of this. And now you're going to try to, your response is, no, we're going through what we're going through because you signed this birth certificate and chose to be a parent. They ain't never found nobody just for, you want a spoon? Can you get the spoon? Can you reach it? They ain't never just went and found nobody. Hold on, let me get this spoon for my baby. They ain't never went and just found nobody talking about, yeah, we just gonna put this person on child support. I got you a spoon, baby. I got you one right over here. Come on over here. Come on over. Here you go, sugar lumps. All right. Oh, that's a lot. Now take your time. Take your time now. But yeah, it was like, so that threw me because I was just like, I said what I said and you trying to go back and respond to what I said by saying something that don't make sense. How does that make sense to you? How this, ever since I started speaking up for myself, I haven't really been speechless, but this right here, this has me super speechless because I don't even understand how she could type this up, read it back to herself and be like, yeah, I'm about to get her with this. Where? Something's really wrong. Now I feel bad for giving you credit saying that you are a smart person. I feel bad for giving you that much credit because this is just dumb. This is just dumb. Then again, if you and your child are fine, and like you just said to me in these emails from this year, he don't need nothing from you. Why are you still bothering me about this money? Why are you still on my butt about this money? If he don't need nothing from me, if y'all living a good, happy life, it can't be too good. Single parenthood it's gotta be eating that ass up for you to come begging me. Because I'm the only one that really owe you something. So for you to come begging me, single motherhood gotta be eating. It gotta be tearing you out the frame. Okay? Because this is not your behavior. Then you want to sit there and say something about me taking food out his mouth. Me taking food out his mouth. Hold on, baby. You keep doing what you're doing. I took food out his mouth. But that's the Cash App when I sent her money. I hope y'all can see it. That's the Cash App when I sent her money. When she asked me for money to get him formula, and I sent the money. But I took food out his mouth. No, baby, I didn't take food out his mouth. I took food out of your mouth. Because whatever you had at that store when you was trying to use that food stamp card, it wasn't just for him. It was for both of y'all. So I didn't take food out his mouth. And like I said, in the text messages, when she asked me about the card, I said, I have no problem splitting that money with you. I have absolutely no problem splitting that. If you want the money, I will give you the money. I have no problem. But I'm not going to, if you want it, say that you want it. I'm not just going to keep getting in contact with you over this to hear you doing all that rah-rah shit to give you some. I don't need to hear all that extra ish for you to get this money. But in her email, I took food out of her son's mouth and she just can't understand. She just can't understand that. It is beyond her. Then her telling me that I've been in character for some time. I'm like, when did I decide to be in character? Was it when I said I didn't want to be with you no more? Was it when you told me you didn't respect me no more? We were still married. Was it when, even though all of that stuff happened, I still helped you have a baby? I bought the sperm. So was I not in character when I bought the sperm? Was I not in character when I forfeited my security deposit of my apartment to move back in with you and stay with you for 3 months until you had the baby? Was I not in character then? Was I not in character when I paid all the half of my bills that I was supposed to pay, a split in the house, and I took care of my business? Was I not in character when? Tell me when I've been in character. Tell me, please. I feel like I've only been in character to you when I said I didn't want nothing to do with you. That was it. And then you decided to be this whole different person, but it is what it is. And lastly, her sitting here acting like I'm going to ask you about your child. You don't never tell me nothing about your child. When I ask, you don't even ask about him. And I ask about your daughter all the time, and you don't never tell me nothing. You know why? Because when you did ask about my child way back when, you tried to use my child to get my address, to put me on child support, to circumvent the system. The courts wasn't looking for my ass. You was. You was looking for me. So from that point moving forward, I knew that you didn't care not nothing about my child, because the way that you would use your child through this whole process to do what you doing, baby, you don't care about nobody kids. You don't even care about your own child for you to do all of this. You say all of this is for him, but really all of this is for you and your ego, because it got crushed because you wasn't in control. So if you can't put nothing past the person who will use their child for something, and you can't put nothing past the person that will do something this shiesty in order to get money. If you would do something this petty to get money that you didn't even need, all because of control, baby, I feel like you would kill to get money. You would take somebody out to get you some money. Hold up, I got it. Go ahead, drink that juice. You would do all that to get some money. So I don't put nothing past you. Like I said, my response was adult and very simple. When she said all the information she said, I wasn't finna go back and forth with her to try to get her to understand that what she's saying is contradictory. I wasn't trying to go back and forth with her to try to make her. You can go throw that in the trash, baby. No, take this. Look. Go throw this in the trash. Take that and throw that in the trash. I got the spoon. No. Trash over there, baby. Excuse me. So yeah, I was like, I gotta stop. It's over here, baby. I said I gotta stop. I can't do this no more. Yeah, it's over here. You can go get the pears. Go get some pears, because we're gonna save one of these mixed fruit for sister. Go get you some pears. Go get pears. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to go with this. But that's another reason why I've been doing my YouTube shit. You know, going so hard as much as I've been doing it, because I know that I have this thing hanging over my head, and I don't like drama. I don't like mess. If you've ever paid attention to my channel, you will see that. Like, I have stopped myself from trying to bring family drama because other people are bringing family drama and they getting paid off of it. I stopped myself from doing that. My channel is called The Journey Journal for a reason. It's about, thank you, baby. It's about my journey through life. Me understanding situations where I put myself in bad situations. Me understanding where I was people pleasing in life and how I'm navigating that. How I'm learning about myself. How I'm choosing to show up in life now that I have overcome. What's wrong with the butt? That's what my channel is about. But baby, believe this. If I was going to bring any mess, any drama to these YouTube streets, it definitely was going to be this. Because one thing about it, baby, I ain't going to expose you. I ain't going to say your name. I ain't going to say your son's name. If somebody ever see this and they know us personally, if they decide to put your name out there, then that's why your name is out there. But I'll never put it out there because there's still a level of respect. Even though she don't respect me, not an ounce. There's still a level of respect that I'm going to show because that's the kind of person that I am. And I understand karma. I understand that what you put out has the ability to come back to you. I also understand that the stuff that I've been putting out has had the ability to come back on her. Did I say the stuff I'm putting out? The stuff she put out has came back on her, and it has bit her in the butt really bad, and she's struggling. And at the same time, it could be a situation where she's not struggling. She's just using this a year later just to mess with me because that's what she can do. And my thing is this too. If I'm such a ain't it person, if I'm such a horrible person, if I'm such a person that you don't never want to be around your kid, if I'm such the person that you don't never want to speak to again, if I'm such the person that you just can't stand, why would you go through all of this in order to still communicate with that one person for a certain amount of time? Because you got up until you don't get child support no more to continuously contact me. So if I'm such a horrible person, why would you go through all of this? If he don't need nothing from me, you don't need nothing from me, y'all living a good life. Why would you go through all of this in order to have a reason to communicate with me? Because I clearly can't communicate with you. This is what it said. I can't really talk to you. I'm a delusional person. I don't never make sense. If I don't never make sense, why you want to go back and forth with me? Obviously, you the one that don't make no sense. Obviously, you're the one that's delusional. Obviously, you're the one that's dyslexic. Obviously, the shit is wrong. The stuff is wrong with you. Not me. But you keep projecting. And I don't let none of that stuff stick, because my thing is, if it don't apply, baby, I'm not going to let it fly. Like I said, she has said so many things about me, but my thing is this: I'm so true in who I am as a person that my thing is, words have power, and they only have power when you give it to them. So yes, if I would have fed into all the stuff that she was saying about me, then yeah, that probably would have made me feel down. You don't want no more pears? You want juice? Yeah. Okay. If I would have fed into that, then yeah, it could have had me in an even darker place. But I know I'm not any of those things that she's called me. I know I'm not that type of person that she wants to try to project that I am. She's just projecting the type of person that she is, what her true colors really are. And baby, you can't project that on me. I'm too protected. I'm too highly favored, and that's not gonna fly. They love me over here. So it is what it is. But moving forward, I just pretty much told myself this is something that I can't run away from. And I wasn't running away from my responsibility. I was just like, it didn't make sense to me to give her the money when I knew the money needed to be in my house. Here you go, baby. I knew the money needed to be in my house because I had things I was taking care of. So it made no sense to give her money when I know that this whole situation is done in spite. But the upper hand that she does have is the fact that she put me on child support. She has the upper hand to take me to court at any point. I have stopped putting fear into going to court. For so long, I put so much into, oh my God, what if you got it? What if I say this to her and it gets her upset, and then she wants to take me to court, and she wants to do this, and this happens, and then she wants to take me to court. Like, it's no more juice, baby. It's just fruit. I've held on to that fear for so long that with this situation, with this last messages to her, I was like, you need to let that go too. Because that's giving that situation, that's giving that power. And I don't want that no power. So I'm no longer afraid of her threatening me with court, because that's all she can do. That's it. That's what she resorts to. And it shows what kind of person she is, to do stuff like that. Especially now after knowing that my life has progressed. I have 2 more children. You doing it at this point is really out of spite. Really, really out of spite. And if she know, like I think she should know, since she want to be in the court so damn bad, baby, you can take me to court right now if you want to. But just so you know, my obligation will probably go down because I have more children. I haven't went to the courts. Yeah, baby. I haven't went to the courts to change anything to say, hey, I got more children. Can you make this lower? I haven't, because I'm not worried about it. I'm just like, whatever. But she could try it, and there'll probably be less money that she's receiving because I have 2 children now to take care of off of what I make. So this situation had the ability to have me blown. It really did. Look at my beautiful baby. Look at that face. But I have chosen to take this situation and turn it into something good. Taking the positive out of the negative. And what I'm doing now is I'm just going to handle my responsibilities. At this point now, she will literally be taking money out of my children's mouth, because now I'm going to have to take the money that I use to buy food for myself and my kids, and I'm going to have to pull the money out that I'm supposed to pay her every month, and I'm going to give it to her. I'm just going to give it to her because, again, I got to keep the demon at bay. I got to feed the demon, and this is the way to do it. So if money is her God, money is what she worships, and money is what she wants, then that's what I'm going to give her. I'm still not going to acknowledge the child in her presence. But that binder that I have with all that information in there, I've kept that binder. Yeah, I've kept that binder for one reason and one reason only. Not to tell her about it or anything like that. I've kept that binder because I wholeheartedly feel that when that child comes of age and he starts working or get his hands on his birth certificate, he's going to see my name. He's going to want to know who I am. Even if she's never told him who I am, he's going to want to know who I am. And he may get up the gall to come find me. And baby, when he do, that binder will be waiting on him. What I will start doing come next year is I will start to add to that binder, because I'm probably going to block her email address, because I feel like once I start paying her on time and every month, she ain't going to have nothing to say to me, because that's how it was for a while. I'm going to start buying him birthday cards every year, and I'm going to stick them inside that binder. I'm going to stick them inside a sheet protector inside that binder, and I'm going to keep them. And I'm going to let him know, look, it was never nothing against you. It was never nothing about you. Your own mama made it about you. They don't want them scissors. She made this whole thing about you. She used you, not me. I was trying to do something where everybody was going to win. in a sense, and everybody was going to be able to go on with their life and not even worry about this. You honestly would have never had to know who I was. Never. Had I been able to do the thing that she gave me the ultimatum to do, you would have never known who I was. But now that you do, and now that you're here, baby, here go this binder. Go ahead and read up on how your mama was. However whatever representative she showed to you to tell you how she is, baby, this is who she really is. This is a part of her as well. And as it pertains to the arrears amount, I'm not really going to be trying to chip away at that arrears amount. I know that interest will sit and will start to accrue, but how I look at that as I can use that as a savings account for him. And when he comes to find me, or when he reaches the age of 18, whichever it comes first, I would like to personally write him a check for the arrears amount and give it to him in his hand. So as he goes on and progresses in life, he has a little bit of something to start with. I know she said that she was putting together a savings account and all of this shit for him, and she could very well be doing that shit. She could not be lying. She might be doing it. But in the event that there is nothing there when he gets older, or he doesn't have a savings account, or even if he do, baby, this is extra. Even if your mom is staying true to her words and she's going to make that savings account for you, I also have a savings account for you. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to also try to build this up so that I can have a savings account for my own children. Because if he's getting one, my biological children need to have a savings account as well. And then I'm going to use this situation to teach my children about the things that I didn't understand. I did not understand about marriage. I did not understand about signing contracts. I did not understand about signing birth certificates. I did not know any of this stuff. So I'm going to use this as an opportunity to teach my kids, look, this is what your mama put herself into. I'm not proud of it, but it is what it is. Now, this is how I chose to move forward. And as you can see, which I'm now talking in the future to my children, but as you can see, mommy has done well for herself. I did not let this one situation hold me down, even though it was something at the time that was affecting y'all, affecting me and affecting y'all. I did not like that. So I chose to do what I needed to do in order to handle that. And hopefully by me doing that, that will teach my kids, I'm not trying to make the decision for you. I'm just trying to let you know that these things are out here and these type of people are out here. So as much as you love somebody, as much as you respect somebody, as much as you want to be with somebody, when they start showing you the signs, baby, run. Please run. Don't get yourself caught up, because a lot of times when people see a nice person and a person who's very gullible, don't know much about nothing, if they want to use you, they gonna use you. Even if that's not their intent in the beginning. If they see a loophole where they can kind of use you, baby, sometimes they will. And you can't be mad at people for being people. Like, people are going to disappoint you in life. That's just what we do. Sometimes we don't mean to disappoint people, but they will. But what I want you to know is you don't give a person an opportunity to do you dirty. Please don't. Please take from me. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, child. I wanted to put that out there, and I wanted to share that story. Again, I have shared this story many times on my YouTube channel, where I made videos about it. I have so many videos, and I've never put anything in playlists, so you'd have to go and try to find it. But I felt that it was necessary for me to say this, because I now have an evolved way of thinking as it comes to this situation. I have an evolved way of thinking when it comes to like how I want to handle it with my kids. And this is still my way of speaking up for myself. These are things, like I said, I will never get to say to this girl. I will never get to say all the stuff I just shared on here with y'all to her. But it feels good to me to just be able to say it out loud and get it out of my body, because it's no longer hurting me. It's no longer, it's not something that I'm carrying with me, because I don't need to carry it with me. I got my kids to take care of. I got myself to take care of. I can't keep holding on to this shit. So I need to let it go. So yeah, that's my thing. That's my story. Hopefully, like everybody else that be getting they little coins off of YouTube from the drama, baby, I hope that this drama right here brings in something for me. I hope to get paid off of her. Me telling this story about her. Come here, baby. I do it. I hope to get paid off of her so that I can pay her. That is my plan. So thanks to anybody that's been here watching this story. If you feel compelled to like this, I appreciate it. If you feel compelled to subscribe, I appreciate it. I'm never going to beg for that. I just say people will find and navigate towards who they want to find and navigate towards. You want me to do superhero? Come here.
I want blanket.
Oh, you want blanket. You don't want me to touch it. Okay.
I want here.
Turn around. So yeah, that's my thing. As always, take care of yourself. Drink your water. And mind your goddamn business, but you can mind mine, because baby, I'm putting it out here in these streets, so you mind as well. But go ahead and share this, if you will, with somebody. Each one teach one, because baby, we all need to know about this crazy ass story. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Y'all have a beautiful day.